hot damn. If you're listening on WOR 710, The Talk of New York, it's our debut week on the show. Guess what I'm doing tomorrow? To ingratiate myself to the big city audience that hasn't heard a lot of Jimmy Failla yet, I am filling in Larry Mendte, who is off tomorrow. Mendte in the morning, Larry Mendte in the morning, an all-time favorite guy of mine, phenomenal broadcaster. Larry Mendte is taking the day off tomorrow. He's decided to let me host his show for 4 hours tomorrow morning.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Yeah, I don't know what Mendte was thinking. I don't know if he was overserved at the bar today, but he called me up. He's like, hey, want to host a show tomorrow, 6 to 10? I was like, I would love to. And I'm excited. So 6 to 10, WOR, Friday morning. You get Jimmy Failla, you get Natalie, you get Jacqueline. The whole Barnyard Jamboree is going to be there. And I'm excited about it, damn it.
Now, from iHeartRadio World Headquarters in New York City, it's Mendte in the morning on 710 WOR. Filling in for Larry, here's Jimmy Failla.
Good morning, New York City, you fine thing. It is Mendte in the morning. I am not Larry Mendte.
No, you're not.
And you are not in Tehran, so be thankful for that as we get underway. Jimmy Failla from the Fox News Network sitting in for the great Larry Mendte, who is off at the furry convention this weekend. Let's hope he wins top prize. That is, of course, a joke. We're going to try to keep it light for the next 4 hours because the world is on fire, but it is Friday, so we shall roast some radio marshmallows along the way. If you are listening, get a hold of that iHeart app. Leave us a talk back. We want to hear from you during today's show as we get underway here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. Now, if you're not familiar with me, right before we get to the big three, I am the newest member of the WOR lineup. My show, Fox Across America, airs every weeknight from 9 to 12. We are heading into our fifth broadcast tonight, this evening, 9 p.m. We have lasted 4 whole shows, which means a lot of people lost money in Vegas, including myself. I had the under 2.5 shows. I thought they would have cut my mic somewhere around Wednesday. But nevertheless, as a testament to your 4-day commitment to our relationship, I will be doing my show from 9 to 12 tonight entirely local. It will not be national, Natalie. I'll be opening up the phones here in New York City.
So you're here from 6 to 10 this morning.
I am essentially under house arrest right now. I don't know how if there's some type of child labor law, I would qualify given my limited intellect, but I will be live tonight from 9 to 12 doing a completely local show.
I think I'm going to have to tune in just to see how you're going to survive that.
Well, if you do tune in, you will double my ratings. So thank you for that, Natalie.
I'll do it for you.
Well, let's get underway on this glorious Friday with the big three. Of course, I alluded to it in the opening. Israel launching airstrikes on Iran's nuclear program overnight, killing top military officials. We have some sound from Netanyahu. Here it is. Bibi, take it away.
Now, as Prime Minister, I've made it clear time and again, Israel will never allow those who call for our annihilation to develop the means to achieve that goal. Tonight, Israel backs those words with action.
So that's Netanyahu going full twisted sister and saying we're not going to take it. I do believe the president yesterday may have been involved in a head fake as it pertains to these strikes, because when he spoke to reporters, President Trump said he was hoping to see peace in the region. And then, of course, the strikes occurred later that evening. Some people are saying this is a sign of a rift between Netanyahu and Trump. It might just be a sign of Trump playing more disciplined ball. I don't have the answer on that. We are, of course, mindful of all the chaos and casualties that could be ensuing right now. So we want to keep these people in our thoughts. And we want to move on to story number 2, because we will be covering this in, a little more extensively later in the show. Story number 2, though, very much feeds off story number 1, because we had our final New York City mayoral debate last night. And things got a little heated between Mamdani and Andrew Cuomo. Now, Mamdani's obviously upset because anytime there's a good day for Israel, it's a bad day for him. We've kind of figured out how this works.
He was also upset because nobody could pronounce his name. Nobody he was not happy about that.
That's why he should be on with me as a former New York City cab driver. Do you know how many guys I know name on? I mean, this is a real story. Do you want to hear a real story real quick?
I do.
Okay. As a former New York City cab driver, I knew 3 guys named Osama bin Laden. For real, that were in my taxi garage. So in 2015, when Obama finally got him, my buddy called me up. He's like, turn on the TV. They got bin Laden. I was like, for what? Speeding? I told them to slow down. I knew different guys with different names. But the point is, Mamdani gets upset. They don't know how to pronounce his name. It was a very fiery debate. Let's start here. This is Cuomo and Mamdani going back and forth.
This is a man who has done nothing. He has 0 accomplishments.
I want to be very
And now
clear.
he thinks he's going to be ready to be mayor.
Okay, so he started with what he said was a lack of accomplishments on Mamdani's side. To Mondani's credit, he brought up some of Cuomo's accomplishments, and they weren't all good.
I have never had to resign in disgrace. I have never cut Medicaid. I have never stolen hundreds of millions of dollars from the MTA. I have never hounded the 13 women who credibly accused me of sexual harassment. I have never sued for their gynecological records, and I have never done those things because I am not you.
So we're going to put him down as a maybe on Cuomo.
I just wonder if that was the first time ever somebody said gynecological records in a mayoral debate.
Without at least a woman involved. I mean, what just went on there? Bit of a food fight. I hope these two get a... You know, it's funny. When you think of the Trump campaign, when you think of traditional political campaigns, guys attack each other a lot on the campaign trail and then eventually drop out and endorse the other guy. I don't see the winner of this race getting the loser's endorsement. That could just be me, but we move on because there was one more back and forth Tammany Hall comment that I got a kick out of.
To Mr. Lander and his experience, remember, this was the fiscal watchdog under the Eric Adams administration, which was like the bookkeeper at Tammany Hall.
Oh, no, you didn't. But what's so funny about that one is that was the only time anyone mentioned Comptroller Brad Lander's name the whole night, so he was thrilled. He didn't care about the attack. It was just an honor to be mentioned. It's like when Weird Al Yankovic parodied your song back in the day. At least you knew you had the world's attention. Third story in the big three as we move on. An appeals court blocked a ruling that was ordering Donald Trump to return control of the National Guard to California. To put that into plain English, that means the President of the United States kind of, sort of, still has control of our military, but this one's going to go back and forth. And the truth is, if you've been following the Trump administration since he got sworn in January, it often feels to me like the opposition is just trying to run clock. Everything Trump does, some local appellate court judge issues an injunction. Then they've got to take that to the Supreme Court or get some type of stay or a pause. And the next thing you know, he's back in business. It very much reminds me as a New Yorker of when the Giants played the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl. And the Bills had that K-gun offense with Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas. And the Giants just wanted to keep them off the field, run as much clock as humanly possible, and hopefully get to a position where Scott Norwood would be attempting a game-winning field goal with no time left on the clock. And as you know, it would miss by quite a great deal, which was a big deal for me because I grew up in a gambling house. So a lot of you watched football and cheered for a win or a loss. I watched football and cheered for homelessness or non-homelessness, depending on who covered the spread. But those are the big three. And if you have a take on any of them, get on that iHeart app, leave us a talkback app. Now, the other thing I would add, as a guy making his debut on the station this week, it is Friday. You're doing all right. You live in America. It's not a bad place to be. Is if you have a take on New York that you can share with me, the thing you need to know for the amount of time they're nice enough to keep me around here at WOR is as a former New York City cab driver, most of my experience in life is as an affordable therapist. And what I mean by that is people get into a taxi, they know they're never going to see you again. So they give you all kinds of pork chop recipes, conspiracy theories, everything they ever wanted to dump on another human being. And I'm really used to giving pretty decent feedback. But what's weird about it is nobody ever asks me for fashion feedback because if you watch me on TV, I do dress like a figure skater who let himself go. And that's probably the biggest challenge to being me right now is I'm surrounded by a bunch of TV stars down the block at Fox News. And then I look like the guy who installed your TV. You looked up at me, Natalie. I got really concerned. I never know. I never know with you. Are we still on good terms?
We are.
I just wasn't sure if you were going to fact check me about my claim that Larry was at the furry convention because we can't confirm that that's true.
You might know more than I do.
You know these morning people.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you this. When it comes to story number 3, the Trump thing, that's going to go back and forth. But there's a piece of sound I wanted to play about it because a lot of people, are out there. It's Father's Day weekend. If you're out in California, Newsom's poll numbers are actually going up as this back and forth over the National Guard ensues. And I have a theory. The reason Newsom's poll numbers are going up is everybody's saving money on Father's Day's gifts because they can just loot the Apple store. Time was you had to spend money. You get your dad's shoe size and go down to Nike. But nobody pays retail in California because you can get it on Riot. And I think that's what's actually happening. And a little bit later in the hour, we're going to play you a clip from a very prominent actor, a man who was, of course, the star of my favorite movie of my youth. You don't know this.
Tell me.
Well, my favorite movie of all time is Midnight Cowboy. And I just might be dressed like Joe Buck right now.
You might be.
Do I not look like I'm heading out to turn tricks in Times Square after this? And the way this opening's going, I might have to. Let's be honest. But
yeah, you know what you look like? You look like somebody who hasn't slept last night.
Is that true?
Well, you know,
I
because
wake up well.
you're not in morning attire. Usually people come here in hoodies.
Yeah.
You look, like you went out somewhere.
Well, this is the problem. I always dress loud at Fox because I'm trying to distract from my glaring lack of intellect.
Oh.
So I'm razzle-dazzle, rhinestones, whatever you got, okay? But the important thing to remember as the show rolls on is we're going to give you a phenomenal clip from one of my favorite actors of all time. Go to the iHeart app in the meantime. Leave us a talkback and understand that when we come back, a New Jersey high school was forced to cancel a full day of classes after an over-the-top senior prank went too far. We're reading this headline like the kids are upset about it. The kids are thrilled. They're like, this is the best prank ever. What are we talking about? Plus, you're going to get tickets to see James Taylor at 8:25. Don't go anywhere because that's hot stuff. I'd go see James Taylor. You know when the last time I saw James Taylor was? He was singing a concert on the White House lawn.
Really?
After they passed the Inflation Reduction Act, and then they got up to the microphone and said, congratulations, this is the biggest climate bill ever. And I was like, wait a minute, I was promised inflation. I was ripped off. We're going to break on Mendte in the Morning with Jimmy Failla. We are back after this.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. We have some traffic troubles on Long Island on the Wantagh Parkway. There's a crash. Northbound Hempstead Turnpike up to Old Country Road. Left lane is blocked and a bit of a slow go on the Gowanus Expressway in Brooklyn, eastbound to Prospect down to Atlantic Avenue. And on the Garden State Parkway, there's a crash causing slowdowns exit 147 up to 148 in East Orange. The left lane is blocked. Now the GW Bridge inbound, you're fine. Outbound on the upper deck, there's a disabled vehicle under the apartments blocking the right lane. Lower deck, you're fine. You're fine both directions at the Lincoln Tunnel, and the Holland Tunnel is in decent shape too. 287 in White Plains eastbound the Taconic out to Westchester Avenue. Construction 2 lanes are blocked. Our next traffic update is coming up in 15 minutes. Now let's take a look at the WOR Weather Channel forecast.
A lot of gray sky around, but not a bunch of rain today. A passing shower this morning, maybe a hit or miss storm this afternoon. 78 should do it. Tonight, a threat for showers and maybe a thunderstorm, especially after midnight. Other than that, cloudy 63 suburbs. You'll be a little bit cooler. Saturday, a few showers into early afternoon. They'll be scattered around, then cloudy. Temperatures are going to stay cool with a northeast breeze, staying in the mid-60s. Sunday, Father's Day, cloudy, near 70. Right now, 71 at WOR. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic. Here's Jacqueline with a check of today's top stories.
Good morning, Ray. There have been back and forth attacks between Israel and Iran. The top two Democrats running for New York City mayor traded punches at the latest debate, and former New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez is scheduled to report to prison soon. Details coming up on 710 WOR.
It's too bad for Democrats that Trump and Musk are making up, because now they have to go back to defending the worst of the worst criminal illegal aliens and convince us that those riots, flying bricks and burning cars, it's actually Trump's fault. Oh, we got lots to talk about. The Rob Astorino Show is brought to you by Somerset Electric, A.G. Williams Painting Company, and Premier Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning. The Rob Astorino Show, Saturday at 4, here on the Voice of New York, 710 WOR.
Now, more Mendte in the Morning.
710 WOR.
Guest hosting today, here's Jimmy Failla.
You heard the man, Jimmy Failla, in for Larry Mendte at 710 WOR, the Voice of New York. Send us a talkback. Would you go to the iHeart Radio app and send us a dang talkback? You won't be the first one. We got a whole big pile of them, and it sounds like it's starting to get personal. So I'm going to jump in and play the first one I saw, because it looks like my name is in the title of this talkback. Oh boy, buckle up, kids. Wish me luck. Although no matter where this goes, and it could be a shot at my weight, maybe my wardrobe, something about me going to Nassau Community College. It doesn't matter, okay? You'll never be as harsh as the voices in my head. So here we go, talkback number one.
Hey, Jimmy, look at you, working all hours of the night, day, morning, 4 hours here, 4 hours there. Flashback to those cab driver days. Listen, T-shirt size, let's do XXL, because the odds of the T-shirt shrinking before I do this summer It's not happening.
So as you know, the talk back of the day
Yes, we'll win
gets
a
a
t-shirt.
Mendte in the Morning t-shirt.
Which is a hot fashion item.
Very much so.
I saw Giselle Bundchen modeling them recently. She was on the runway.
She looked
I think that's
good
the
in
hottest fall fashion. She looked good.
Mm-hmm.
She looked at peace. You know, it's the Mendte in the Morning t-shirt. Listen, as far as the all hours thing, these are not all hours. I've mentioned this when Larry had me on Monday. When I was driving a cab, it was 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then you do stand-up comedy at night and, go to the diner and eat something and kind of figure out where you went wrong in life and then get up to drive your cab again. So these are actually pretty good hours, but that was a phenomenal talk back. And I am trying to model a work ethic over here because I do have a 16-year-old son named Lincoln Failla who just wrapped up 11th grade today. That's a big deal. Highest level of education in the Failla family. Lincoln.
I'm going to be a senior.
Lincoln, a bit of a pioneer, but I mentioned Lincoln. I mentioned high school because the story I had promised you, the story I had teased.
Yes.
Okay, this is me delivering on my campaign
Always
promises.
have to.
No, I'm a solid politician. That's why I wouldn't make it in politics. 2 reasons I wouldn't make it in politics is one, I'm a pretty straightforward person. 2 is the background check. But stick with me. Here we go. It was a New Jersey high school senior prank. It was at South River High School in New Jersey. This prank went so awry that they were forced to cancel classes. In other words, the prank worked.
Exactly. Wasn't that the point? They wanted a day off.
It's kind of framed in a way like this is some type of setback for the kids. But here is the story. Apparently the kids got into the school and there were no signs of forced entry, meaning they don't know if there was someone involved who helped them. Maybe they gained access under some type of false pretense, but once inside, they really actually did some dirtbag stuff. I'm not proud of this one, kids. They say around 50 students unlawfully entered South River High School on the night of June 11, 2025. The prank involved a lot of vandalism, which I don't get behind. I like a funny prank. You know what I'm saying? If you can get on the loudspeaker, make, some type of silly noise or,
okay.
Put on audio from some movie that probably shouldn't be playing over the loudspeaker.
Comedy.
Yes.
Thank you. And there you go. You want some jokes, you want some revelry. Okay. And that I would get behind. But what's odd is these pranks have become a bigger deal in the cell phone age than they were in our age.
Well, now because everybody could see what you did.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. But that's why I'm surprised.
And now they're getting in trouble.
But that's the good and bad. It's like, yeah, we can chronicle this. But I'm like, yeah, that's not how crime is supposed to work. You don't want to chronicle this. But we didn't have senior prank day. Like when I was in I went to graduate at Division Avenue High School in Levittown in the 90s. By the time I was a senior in high school, I was trying to quit drinking. We were doing like dry... Stop it. We were doing like dry Januaries. So if you're out there at South River High School in New Jersey, get your act together. Would you please? I should not be the voice of reason in the tri-state area.
And you are right now. I'm so surprised.
Yeah.
This is great.
All right.
But then none of these kids should get in trouble.
No,
Just
I
move
get it.
on.
No, let them be. Just better job next time, kids. Try not to wreck the place. No, because if you start destroying other people's property, they'll send you to Los Angeles. They'll be like, now you've got to live under Gavin Newsom. It's a whole to-do. We're bringing in the National Guard. Let's go to Jacqueline Carr with the 6:30 news, shall we?
Hey, Jimmy. President Trump is calling a meeting of the National Security Council today after Israel's military strike against Iran. Israel launched what it called a preemptive strike on Iran Thursday, reportedly against military and nuclear sites. Iran has responded by launching over 100 drones at Israel. And Mayor Eric Adams says the NYPD has now removed more than 100,000 so-called ghost vehicles, including cars, mopeds, and ATVs from New York City streets since the start of his administration.
At a news conference with Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, the mayor said getting vehicles off the streets is helping to improve quality of life in the city. Tisch says these ghost vehicles are not harmless.
They are often untraceable, unlicensed, and unregistered. Their reckless operation puts pedestrians and other motorists at risk.
The vehicles seized will not be sold. They're headed for the crusher to be removed from city streets for good. Larry Kofsky, WOR News.
All right, Jimmy, Natalie, this is an event you will not want to miss. According to the New York Post, the first ever pigeon impersonation pageant is taking place on the High Line. The event will last all day this Saturday and will have events like Pin the Tail on the Pigeon, Pigeon Cornhole, and educating visitors on how to make the Big Apple friendly for these birds who've been so condemned. Each act will have multiple contestants and will have 2 minutes to coo, squawk, and waddle in front of the crowd. Something I only wish I could do. Several awards will be given out to the contestants, but only one will be crowned the first ever top pigeon of New York City. The festival centers around Dinosaur, that massive pigeon sculpture that has been guarding the railroad garden since the summer.
I love this so much.
Yeah. You going to be there?
Well, listen, put me down as a maybe. I've got a TV show to host. There's things going on. That being said, the fact that they can train a pigeon and do all this stuff, I can't get a 16-year-old to drag his laundry down a flight of stairs.
No, these are people.
No, they want people to do this.
Whoa, but there's no pigeons involved.
No.
This is costume.
Well, they'll probably be hanging around and pooping on people.
I'm sure, yeah, there's always pigeons around, as we know.
Oh, okay. I feel like I was duped. I understood it was impersonation, but I thought we had some pigeon cooperation as well.
No.
That's unbelievable.
They're just spectators.
So you get to
people will be doing
You get to go and be a pigeon for
All
a
right.
day.
Well, then, yes. Here's my theory. Okay, aliens may have visited Earth. The reason they haven't landed is they've seen things like this and been like, you know what? No, thanks.
No, they're not evolved enough yet for us to interact with them.
Nope.
But I still think it could be an interesting day.
Yes. I mean, listen, the one nice thing about legalized weed is stuff like this is just going to keep popping up. And I'm kidding. They're not.
Not to mention, if you're in the Birdwatchers Club, you can, check everything off in New York with one pigeon. Check. Done. I've seen it all.
Jacqueline, you still got it. Don't let the haters say otherwise.
Jimmy, I think you'd be a good pigeon.
I think I'd make a good drumstick. I got a little chub on you. Don't you go anywhere. Jordana Miller, ABC News correspondent. She's going to join us to talk about Israel launching a preemptive strike on Iran. And if you want to add to the conversation, leave us some more talkbacks. Go to the iHeartRadio app, 710 WOR on the iHeartRadio app. Click the microphone. And when you're there, put 710 WOR on your preset so you can listen to Mendte in the Morning every day. Plus, you could win a limited edition Mendte in the Morning t-shirt, which will be awarded each day to our favorite talkback of the morning. So far, the guy who insulted me kind of and sort of supported me is in the lead. I like the tough love. And so far, the talkbacks have been a bit of a radio dominatrix. But we are going to go to break. And we are back after this.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center. Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. Slow on the Wantagh Parkway, still northbound Hempstead Turnpike up to Old Country Road because of a crash, and the LIE in Queens jammed westbound to Grand Central out to Woodhaven Boulevard. 10 to 15 minute inbound delays. GW Bridge lower deck 5 to 10 outbound upper deck disabled vehicle cleared away. Looks like the Lincoln is quiet. Holland Tunnel 5 to 10 from both approaches. This report is sponsored by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. We all play a role in keeping roads safe. Watch for pedestrians. Give 4 feet when passing and slow down. Let's look out for each other. Safety is shared. Brought to you by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Our next traffic update is coming up in 15 minutes. Now let's take a look at the WOR Weather Channel forecast.
Not big rain chances today. A lot of clouds, maybe some sun trying to push through. This morning, a passing shower. This afternoon, again, just a slight chance of a passing shower. Maybe a thunderstorm. Cloudy otherwise, 78. Tonight, maybe some showers around, maybe a thunderstorm. Best chance going to be later, 63, 50 suburbs. And I do think some damp streets for Saturday morning. The scattered showers will last into early afternoon. That cloudy, breezy, and cool. High only in the mid-60s. We may actually hold near 65 or 66. Cloudy, dry, but cool on Father's Day, 70. Right now, 71 at WOR. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Jesse Kelly.
Well, what is Tesla? This big genius company full of super nerds, all ambitious people. That's why they're at Tesla. They want to be CEOs. They want to be inventors. They want to go to Mars. They want to do all these things. You have a company full of people primed and ready for change and streamline. In the government, a bunch of idiots and losers who can't do anything else in life.
Jesse Kelly. Stand back. He has a crazy world to fix. Weeknights at 6. 710 WOR.
We are the voice of New York.
This is Mendte in the Morning.
710 WOR.
And for Larry, here's Jimmy Failla.
Jimmy! There's our guy. It's Mendte in the Morning on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. Mendte, of course, not with us, but I am Jimmy Failla, the newest member of the 710 lineup. You can listen to me weeknights from 9 p.m. to midnight right here on the Talk of New York. But joining us now on the line, very thankful to have her. She's, of course, an ABC News correspondent who is over in Israel, here to report on the preemptive strike Israel launched against Iran last night. Jordana Miller joins us. Hello, Jordana.
Hi there. Well, the Israelis have been talking and threatening for years, really, to take action against Iran's nuclear program. And that finally played out last night, just after 3 a.m. local time. Sirens actually rang out across the entire country here in Israel, not because the Iranians were striking the Israelis, but because the Defense Department wanted to tell the entire country that they had launched a preemptive strike on Iran. Those strikes went on for several hours, 5 different intense waves of strikes, hitting all kinds of sites, not just the nuclear sites, but also ballistic missile launchers, factories, and even storage sites, as well as what turned out to be a very effective campaign to assassinate much of Iran's top military leadership. They took out the equivalent of the head of, for example, Iran's Revolutionary Guard, what would be the head of the army, right? They took out as well the Joint Chief of Staff, that would be the equivalent position on the Iranian side, as well as the leader of emergency war planning. And just a few moments ago, we found out that the Israelis also took out the head of the Iranian Air Force. Those attacks are continuing now. Another wave underway in Shiraz and Tabriz. And the Israelis say that they're calling it a preemptive strike because they say that the Iranians had actually moved further towards developing a way to deploy nuclear.
You broke on me for a second there. Are you there, Jordana?
We might have just lost our connection.
Yeah, that was a tough connection. So it's Jordana Miller on the line. We're going to try to get back to her in a minute. She is, of course, over in Israel, where all of this is ensuing, and we're just being pretty mindful of her safety right now as we attempt to get a report and an update. President Trump socialing about it a short while ago. Let me read you the Trump Truth Social post. I gave Iran a chance to make a deal. I told them in the strongest of words to just do it, but no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they just couldn't get it done. I told them it would be much worse than anything they know, anticipated, or were told, that the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment anywhere in the world by far, and that Israel has a lot of it with much more to come, and they know how to use it. Certain Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They are all dead now, as Jordana was saying before we lost her. Jordana, you're back. So
I am back.
Can I ask one quick question?
Yes.
So you talked about...
Absolutely.
Okay, Israel, it was, I guess, no secret that they were, considering a preemptive strike on Iran as a deterrent to them developing and enriching more uranium. But from what I'm reading, they were still kind of surprised by this, and it was executed in the type of manner that might have been similar to what we saw with the pager explosions in Lebanon. They still managed to effectively get in there and catch them off guard, did they not?
They did, and I think the Israelis were able to kind of cloud what was about to happen in the public media, in the disputes between Jerusalem and Washington. That proved to be a great cover, right? In the last several days, not only did the Americans and others say we're picking up signals the Israelis might attack, but we heard President Trump say, not so fast. We're in the middle of negotiations. This might happen, but we want to give diplomacy a chance, which was seen as a warning to the Israelis, right? And the Iranians believed the Israelis would not do it. They wouldn't strike. They wouldn't strike when they were told not to strike, right? And they wouldn't strike alone without the military help of the United States. And in the end, Israel did both. Right. Perhaps we will, we're still learning really the American part in this, but it may be that President Trump, was playing along and knew what was coming. Yep. Right.
Well, the one thing.
And this did surprise the Iranians.
Yeah, that's what I would say. And the one thing no one can argue, regardless of who knew what or when, is that it was effective. They got the job done. We're thankful you're safe, and we will stay in touch from here, Jordana. Best of luck over there. Jordana Miller, you're the best. Jordana Miller, ABC News correspondent. She is over in Israel, and make no mistake about it, they got the job done. If you have an opinion, go to the iHeartRadio app, leave us a talk back. But the rest of the President Trump tweet read that he was in fact pushing to make a deal, but it didn't seem like Iran was interested in doing so. And the one thing that Trump has been doing as it pertains to Iran, and this kind of harkens back to Trump 1 when they signed the Abraham Accords, is he is trying to box out the disruptor in the region. And he's tried to bring peace to the Middle East by enticing them all to engage in commerce that would actually be better for their countries and maybe stabilize the region by boxing out Iran, who has traditionally been the biggest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. So I don't doubt they pursued every avenue they could in the means of bringing Iran to the table. But at the end of the day, if they didn't want to play ball, the last thing Israel was doing was signing up for another round of strikes from the Hamases of the world. So we thank Jordana Miller for her reporting. We thank you for your talkbacks on the iHeartRadio app as they come in, and we will be back after this.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. We have backups on the Bell Parkway in Brooklyn. There's a crash eastbound into Pennsylvania Avenue, and the LIE in Queens is slow. Grand Central out to Woodhaven Boulevard. Montauk Parkway pretty heavy. Northbound Hempstead Turnpike up to Old Country Road. There's an accident blocking the left lane. 20 to 25 minute inbound delays at the GW Bridge. 15 to 20 minutes on the lower deck. Lincoln Tunnel 5 minutes. Holland Tunnel 5 to 10 both approaches. This report's sponsored by WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private, so things like those selfies from last weekend's party stay between you and your bestie, because on WhatsApp, your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even them. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone. Our next traffic update is coming up in 15 minutes. Now let's take a look at the WOR Weather Channel forecast.
A lot of gray sky around, but not a bunch of rain today. A passing shower this morning, maybe a hit or miss storm this afternoon. 78 should do it. Tonight, a threat for showers and maybe a thunderstorm, especially after midnight. Other than that, cloudy, 63. Suburbs, you'll be a little bit cooler. Saturday, a few showers into early afternoon. They'll be scattered around, then cloudy. Temperatures are going to stay cool with a northeast breeze, staying in the mid-60s. Sunday, Father's Day, cloudy, near 70. Right now, 71 at WOR. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic. Here's Jacqueline with a check of today's top stories.
Good morning, Ray. Back and forth attacks between Iran and Israel. The latest on detainees that escaped an ICE detention center in Newark, and Harvey Weinstein will be retried after a mistrial. Details coming up on 710 WOR.
Mark Simone.
The Beach Boys got everybody to start thinking about California. If you were a teenager in California, you had a tan, you were on the beach. California teen today, you're living in your parents' house, you can't get off your phone.
The Mark Simone Show, weekdays 10 till noon on WOR. Now, back to Mendte in the morning on 710 WOR. Guest hosting today, here's Jimmy Failla.
There's our guy, Jimmy Failla, in for Larry Mendte. Mendte in the morning. If you want to send us a talk back, we are going to get to it because the people are pretty vocal. The people of New York have spoken, and we're going to get to them in a second. But first, we do have to remind you that the iHeartRadio Music Festival is back. It is September 19th and 20th. It is in Las Vegas, Nevada. 2 big nights, 1 big stage. Live performances by Bryan Adams, John Fogerty, Sammy Hagar. He can't drive 55, by the way. That was his whole hang-up. Back when I was a cab driver, I had a similar issue. Ed Sheeran, Maroon 5, and more. The Capital One presale means that card holders have access to tickets before the general public. That starts at 1 p.m. today. So today's a big day. It is only for a limited time. Also, the Capital One Access Pass add-on gets you into an exclusive pre-concert card holder event with a private performance by LL Cool J on Friday night and Jelly Roll on Saturday night. Hot damn, that's big stuff. Go to iHeartRadio.com/Capital One to get your tickets now before they're gone. The general public ticket sale starts Friday at 2 p.m. So you got to get moving. That is an exclusive to you from me, but not really me. I'm just kind of the proxy. It's like the movie. Right. It's like the movie Ghost. It's from Larry to you, and I'm the Whoopi Goldberg. You've got to go through me today to communicate with Larry. I believe we were talking about talkbacks. Let's get into this one. I see. And I love this. I just see the word Hannity. I'm going on tour with Sean Hannity. Here goes nothing. I hope it's not from Sean Hannity. Let's get into this.
Hey, Jimmy, I hear you're going to be doing a little soiree down in Florida at Hannity's comedy shop. Do tell. Give us a little more information.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, punchlines.
Look at this guy. Did you have him like call in so you could promote your stuff?
Shout out to my agent. I'm kidding.
What is that?
Everything you need to know. It's called Punchlines and Patriots. It is June 28th in Clearwater, Florida, June 29th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. If you want tickets to those events, there's a live meet and greet afterwards. It's foxacrossamerica.com. And you can come to see why Sean is the longest running host in cable news and Jimmy's not allowed to drink in the green room. You got a good opportunity there for a meet and greet. You spend some time with me and Hannity. Fabulous talk back, by the way, because it was marketing based, and I liked that. Do I have time to play one more?
Yeah.
I know I do. Okay, I'm just letting them rip here. Here we go.
It's nice having you on this morning, Jimmy. Thanks for keeping it light. Since Democrats won't let us have nice things, we want to be able to enjoy this beautiful summer weekend. So thank you.
I am going to pay that woman to record me messages just because of how pleasant she was. But I do have to disagree with her. Democrats will let you have nice things. They're looting Apple stores right now. They're looting sushi stores in L.A. You're just in the wrong state, girlfriend. One more, and then we move on.
Good morning, Jimmy.
Oh.
I just want you to know that I've never heard of you until this week, and I honestly think you're phenomenal.
Oh!
I really enjoy your show going home at night. I am on the road for maybe about half of your show, but honestly, I think you're down to earth. You tell it like it is, and I gotta admit, I really enjoy your show. Keep up the good work.
I'm trying not to get emotional here.
See your relative
That was
that
phenomenal.
doesn't know you.
Hey, Uncle Vinny, I'll send you the $50 later. Okay, pal? So I'll meet you at the same
Nice.
Wawa as usual. Yeah, I take no credit for all of the nice things people have said about me this week as I've joined the WOR lineup. I take no credit. Folks, it's the drugs. Okay? If you see me in regular mode, it's an entire... I'm kidding. You stop it right now. I am so thrilled to be a part of this lineup. And your feedbacks have been phenomenal. Send us more. It's the iHeartRadio app. Send us a talk back. Now, John Voight, who's the star of my favorite movie of all time, Midnight Cowboy, left a talk back for Gavin Newsom. And we're going to play it for you now. Listen to Voight. I love it.
You're a fool blaming Trump. What are you doing for this destruction of these animals destroying Los Angeles? Are you there talking calmly with them, you fool? They would burn you down like they're burning the cars and the American flag with no regard for humanity. This is not about Trump. This is about protecting the people from these animals and criminals trying to destroy us. And our police force, are they supposed to stand there, let rocks hit them and kill them? Who's going to save them? You? President Trump called in the National Guard and the Marines to help with these destructive, barbaric riots. All you do is cause chaos for the people. You're a disgrace.
Wow. John Voight. I love John Voight. I just wish he wouldn't hold back so much. You know, it's like express yourself.
Yeah, don't pull back.
You're an
We
actor.
don't want to hear what you have to
I
say.
know the cameras aren't on, John, but you can emote a little bit. You can give us some insights into how you feel. I love that for two reasons. There is a very direct and effective Ray Donovan-esque nature of what you just heard out of John Voight, and it takes me back to a personal experience I had here at Comic-Con. I was in Comic-Con doing a package, a man on the street interview for my TV show Fox News Saturday Night, which airs every Saturday night at 10 p.m. I did not know that John Voight watches my show and knows about my wife and knows about my kid. So I was walking through Comic-Con followed by a camera crew, and someone put me into a very convincing headlock and started talking to me about my family. And I was convinced it was probably a bookie from the tri-state area, because I don't know what you guys know about your cousin Jimmy Failla over here. But it's a long season and nobody goes undefeated, especially when they're betting on the Knicks night in and night out. But the point is, I thought Voight was some kind of a bookie, and he told Jimmy he was going to break my neck, and then he turned around and I was like, oh my God, John Voight. So a true career highlight to meet John Voight over at Comic-Con. And Comic-Con is coming back again next year, which means for one whole week, New York will be known as the city that never sleeps with anyone. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the next hour we're about to do. You know who's coming up? This is a big deal. Do you want to talk about it? Rob Astorino. Okay, he's got a show here on WOR. He's going to talk about the LA riots, and he's going to talk about the judge who blocked Trump's use of the National Guard to deal with the protesters. That's coming up after the 7 o'clock news. How about it?
loud and clear.
Let's see, should I buy Yankee tickets or a Barbie doll for my girl? I better listen to WOR and find out, huh?
Always the voice of New York. 710 WOR.
An iHeart radio station.
It's 71 degrees at 7 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Jacqueline Carl. Back and forth attacks between Iran and Israel. Israeli officials say Iran overnight launched around 100 attack drones after the Israeli attacks targeting Iranian nuclear and ballistic missile facilities. ABC News foreign correspondent Marcus Moore is in Tel Aviv.
Israel calling the strikes preemptive, claiming Iran has enough enriched uranium to produce up to 15 nuclear bombs within just days.
We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program.
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu saying these strikes are only the beginning.
Markets are taking a hit as tensions rise in the Middle East. Stock futures dropped after Israel launches strikes on Iran. And as of the latest check, Dow futures were down over 500 points. The S&P was down over 70 points, and the NASDAQ off more than 300 points. And reports now say 4 detainees are missing from controversial ICE detention center in Newark after a riot in which detainees took control over parts of the facility.
NJ.com reporting as many as 50 ICE detainees inside Delaney Hall staged a revolt Thursday night and pushed down a wall of their dorm. Others reportedly made ropes out of bed sheets to get out from the third floor. At least 4 detainees are unaccounted for. A manhunt was launched to try and find them. The report says detainees were angry about the timeliness and quality of their food. Mayor Raz Baraka, who was arrested at Delaney Hall last month, says problems at the site stem from lack of oversight. Andrew Whitman, WOR News.
The Manhattan District Attorney says Harvey Weinstein will be retried after a mistrial was declared on one of 3 charges of sexual assault.
With the mistrial leaving one charge against the former Hollywood producer unresolved, D.A. Allen Bragg says he'll try him for a 3rd time.
After the judge declared the jury could not reach a verdict on rape in the 3rd degree, we immediately informed the court that we are ready to go forward to trial again on that charge.
In a partial verdict, the jury found Weinstein guilty of sexual assault against one woman and not guilty of another charge. Weinstein was convicted in 2020, but that verdict was later thrown out. Larry Kofsky, WOR News.
It's 71 degrees at 7:02.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. We have problems on the Gowanus Expressway with a disabled vehicle. The right lane is blocked westbound approaching 38th Street. Better on the belt, though, eastbound at Pennsylvania Avenue. Crash there has been cleared away. GW Bridge inbound on the upper deck at 20 to 25-minute delay. Lower deck about 15 to 20. And at the Lincoln Tunnel 5 to 10 and at the Holland Tunnel 5 to 10. This report is sponsored by WhyRefi.com. Is private student loan debt ruining your life? It doesn't have to. Why refinances private student loans that others won't touch, and they don't care what your credit score is. Just go to WhyRefi.com. That's YREFY.com. Our next traffic update is in 15 minutes on 710 WO.
Capital One cardholders can score their iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets right now before anyone else. Tickets are only available while pre-sale tickets last or until today, June 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And that's not all. Add a Capital One access pass to your pre-sale purchase to attend an exclusive pre-concert event with a private performance from LL Cool J on Friday or Jelly Roll on Saturday. Only available during the cardholder pre-sale.
Pre-sale tickets are limited and will go fast. So visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One to buy now.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, streaming live only on Hulu.
Car feeling cramped? Time for an upgrade. Boyfriend not the one. Time for an upgrade. You constantly upgrade your life. Why not upgrade your checking account too? Check out Truist One Checking. No overdraft fees. Packed with perks. And as your balance grows, we upgrade your perks automatically. One simple choice. Get Truist One Checking today. Visit Truist.com/one. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic with the WOR forecast for the Weather Channel. Plenty of mid and high-level cloud around, but we may see at times as we head through this morning a passing shower or two. An isolated shower thunderstorm this afternoon. No widespread rain, 78. Showers are likely tonight, especially later. Maybe a rumble of thunder. 63 cities, suburbs a little bit cooler. Showers likely tomorrow, especially through early afternoon, then tapering off later, but cool as temperatures are going to hold with a northeast breeze in the mid 60s, a little bit better by Father's Day, cloudy, closer to 70 degrees. Right now, 71 at WOR.
In sports, the Mets win again and sweep the Nationals 4-3 at Citi Field Thursday. The Mets at 45-24 have the best record in baseball. They've won 6 straight and 15 of their last 18 games. Mets open a set with the Rays tonight in Flushing, Queens. The Yanks win despite some rain in Kansas City 1-0 and sweep the series from the Royals. The Yanks visit Fenway Park and the Red Sox tonight. It's 7:05. Next news at 7:30. Breaking news at once. I'm Jacqueline Carl on 710 WOR.
You're listening to Mendte in the morning. 710 WOR. In for Larry, here's Jimmy Failla.
There's our guy, Mendte in the morning, minus Mendte. It is Jimmy Failla in the morning for one day only. A limited engagement on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. But I'm having so much fun in my new slot in the OR lineup, which of course is weeknights from 9 p.m. to midnight, that tonight I am ditching the format of my national show. And I am doing a full 3 hours of call-ins from local New York, New Jersey, Connecticut people, which could catch up to me because I owe a lot of people money from my cab driving days. And if you're one of them, you are welcome to weigh in on the iHeartRadio app. Leave us a talk back. We've had some phenomenal ones so far, but it is the top of the hour. So let's get to the big three. The, of course, story of the evening, which is still, of course, unfolding this morning, is top Iranian military leaders were killed in preemptive strikes from Israel. And we got some sound from Benjamin Netanyahu after the strikes, giving us some insight into what is being called Operation Rising Lion.
Moments ago, Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat.
Okay, so you wipe out Iran's top military leaders. A lot of people consider that addition by subtraction. I happen to be one of them, but now's no time for my political pontificating. Story number 2 in the big three, also a heated exchange between Andrew Cuomo and Mamdani, who, I got to tell you, that one, if you didn't watch that one last night, it was bum fights. Have you seen the old YouTube series Bum Fights? Where when I was a cab driver, you'd be, driving down 7th Avenue at 3:30 in the morning. One guy's arguing with a parking meter. The other guy's proposing marriage to a shopping cart. And the next thing you know, they're walking towards each other and you're like, wow, this is going to be a very unorthodox exchange. Well, welcome to the political equivalent of bum fights.
I have never had to resign in disgrace. I have never cut Medicaid. I have never stolen hundreds of millions of dollars from the MTA. I have never hounded the 13 women who credibly accused me of sexual harassment. I have never sued for their gynecological records. And I have never done those things because I am not you.
Wow. So that's Mamdani taking the fight to Cuomo, who, listen, is bringing a lot of baggage to this race, but is currently in the lead. And we're going to talk about that shortly here with our guest. The third story in the big three, a judge now allowing Trump, temporarily anyway, to maintain control of the National Guard out in California, where, say what you want about Gavin Newsom, okay, but this guy wants to be a president so bad, he's now running for the Mexican job. I don't know how else to explain his actions. They're not pro-American, and I hope my next guest agrees with me, but if he doesn't, we'll make it work. He is a superstar here in the WOR lineup himself, and he joins us now on the line. Rob Astorino is here, and the crowd goes wild. Hey, Rob.
Who wrote that? Say superstar. Is that my wife? Did you do that or not?
Listen, I got to butter up the guest. This is the deal, okay? No one comes on the radio with me twice. I can get anybody once. Anybody. I can get the Pope on the phone right now, but he ain't coming back. I'm just telling you because I care, but good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. It's great to have you on the lineup, by the way. I love the show. I really do. And
it's a big deal.
Even though I'm at, what, they not say, tell everybody he's from Newsmax because I'm from Newsmax? So
no, that's fine.
I will say this. I watch your show on Fox. I love it. I think it's
Stop
great.
it. Well, Fox News Saturday.
You want me a little more?
No. You I'll Venmo you the money right after this. No, we play really nice in the sandbox. You know what's funny? Like when I was at the I was doing my show Fox News Saturday night at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and this might shock local listeners, but I had on the show, I'm not kidding, Lester Holt, Al Roker, and Savannah Guthrie were all on my show. and they came on and we talked. And because the thing for me is, okay, I'm very non-threatening. Like if you hung out with me for 5 minutes, you realize I only pose a threat to myself. You know, I've got some, issues. But I play nice in the sandbox. So you
and the social services people who come.
But no, and here's the thing. Let's say we weren't nice in the sandbox. Let's say this was like old school Manhattan, where the gangs wore their colors like the Warriors.
Right.
And you had your Newsmax colors. I had my Fox News colors. There's still nothing we can say that's going to be as fiery as Mamdani Cuomo, no?
Oh, that was great. That was great. Look, I've known Andrew Cuomo forever because I ran against him in 2014.
Yep.
And the guy is a thug to the core.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, it's like he failed mob school, so he's been trying his whole life to prove he belongs, and he's just that way. And it's killing him. It's killing him that this guy Mamdani may very well catch him. Mm-hmm. And I said this months ago, watch this guy. He presents well. He's the male version of the AOC. He's going to light a fire with the far left. And there's nothing about Cuomo that anyone really likes.
Yeah. He's
just like, I guess I got to vote for Cuomo because the rest are crazy. But the problem for Cuomo is he probably has a cap. And I'd rather be in Mamdani's position right now than I would Cuomo, believe it or not, because he's got the big mo right now at the end when it counts, and his people will run to the polls.
No
Cuomo's
question.
people, I'm not sure will do that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And one thing Mamdani has going for him is school is out, so his supporters don't have to be at any anti-Semitic protest right now. They've got plenty of time to vote. If this was a month ago, these kids would be, taking janitors hostage and barricading themselves into buildings. But now they've got enough free time to go vote, Rob. We're talking to Rob Astorino on the line about the mayoral race. One other question I wanted to ask you as someone who knows Cuomo to be the way he is. There has to be, and I don't know him, there has to be a sociopathic quality to anyone who gets back out there. We're not very far removed from a resignation that came in disgrace, testimony from a top aide that he falsified death records to pad a book deal. And mind you, he wrote a self-congratulatory book about how he handled COVID in the middle of COVID, which is like a football coach dumping the Gatorade on themselves at halftime of a game they're not even winning. So don't you have to almost have a sociopathic quality to just show up like it's cool now?
Yeah, not almost. You have to have, and he is. And look, he has never done anything other than be the peacock, right? His dad was governor when he was growing up, so he's walking around the executive mansion. He's, telling everybody, you know who I am, you know who I am. And that's the way it's been his whole life. He's always been driven around by cops. Yeah. Always lived in public housing on our dime, not the HUD housing, but the really nice housing. Yep. And so he doesn't know what else to do. Yep. And he's like a scorpion. He is not happy unless he's stinging somebody. And this is his life. So I'm not surprised. And look, if I'm looking objectively at his career, this was the only race that could possibly get you back in the game, right? He's looking around. New York City's a mess, which he created, but New York City is a mess.
Yep.
Adams is weak, and all the crazies are coming in. He looks like the adult in the room. I mean, he's the adult that will fondle you, but he's the adult.
That was, we're talking to Rob Astorino. The thing that really got me is when he was getting in trouble, for all the handsy-andsy stuff. He tried blaming it on his Italian heritage. Do you remember that at the end? He's like, you don't understand our Italian heritage. I'm like, dude, nobody is making that Olive Garden commercial. Come to the Olive Garden where we'll ask you to play strip poker with Nana, just like the old country. That wasn't going on. Yeah.
I don't know about his Easters, but I tell you, when my aunts and uncles came over, I would never grab them at the crotch while I give them a hello.
Call me old-fashioned, Cuomo. Yeah. So one nice thing. If you think the Olive Garden shares its breadstick a lot, you should see the Cuomo Garden. I don't know what to tell you here, but it's gonna be a hell of a ride. But that's the one thing that breaks my heart about one-party rule in a city. Is that Cuomo was the governor, and under the combination of Cuomo and de Blasio, New York's most popular restaurant chain became a place called This Space for Rent. Okay? Why are we forgetting so fast?
It's amazing. It really, you know why? because there's no other legitimate candidate
right
now that a normal person can look at. I mean, at least with Cuomo, you're like, oh my God, I hate everything about this guy. And then there's a but the rest are freaking nuts. And so the money pouring in on Cuomo from the business community, which should know better, but again, they feel like there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well, I can't promise you he's going to get the nursing home vote, but
absentee through the grave. Yeah.
Hey, well, listen, don't sell the Democrats short. They're pretty good at turning out that dead vote.
Yes, they are.
Rob Astorino, you still got it. We got to do this again sometime.
No, I'm never coming back on with you again.
I knew it, Astorino. You did me dirty. Talk soon, my man. Have a great weekend.
All right, Jimmy. Take care.
The great Rob Astorino. Love it so much. And he makes all the good points that need to be made on this issue. New York and a lot of voters in the Democratic primaries just feel like this is the only choice they have. I mean, Adams went independent on them. And it would be sad to leave the mayor's office and know there was no more Eric Adams, because he has single-handedly propped up the nightclub industry in New York City. Do you know what happens to bottle service if Adams leaves New York? It's not good, folks. So let me give you this. 2 in 3 hiring managers are more likely to hire Gen Zers with soft skills over actual college degrees. Plus, you're going to get tickets to see James Taylor. I'm going to play more of your talkbacks. It's Mendte in the morning with Failla in the chair. Don't go anywhere. We're back after this.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. Couple of traffic glitches on 287 in Jersey. One is in Mahwah southbound from exit 66 down to 59, crash on the shoulder. Then northbound in Morris Township on 287 into exit 33, Harder Road, crash on the shoulder there. Pulaski Skyway's pretty slow northbound between Central Avenue up to the Tunnelly Circle. Cross Bronx. As you travel westbound White Plains Road out to the Sheridan Boulevard area, stop and go traffic. Now inbound GW Bridge a 20 to 25 minute delay on the upper deck, lower deck 15 to 20. Lincoln Tunnel inbound 5 to 10. Holland Tunnel looks like 5 to 10 from both approaches. Alternate side of the street parking rules in effect. Our next traffic update is in 15 minutes on 710 WOR.
A lot of gray sky around, but not a bunch of rain today. A passing shower this morning, maybe a hit or miss storm this afternoon. 78 should do it. Tonight, a threat for showers and maybe a thunderstorm, especially after midnight. Other than that, cloudy 63 suburbs. You'll be a little bit cooler. Saturday, a few showers into early afternoon. They'll be scattered around, then cloudy. Temperatures going to stay cool with a northeast breeze, staying in the mid-60s. Sunday, Father's Day, cloudy near 70. Right now, 71 at WOR. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic. Here's Jacqueline with a check of today's top stories.
Good morning, Ray. There have been back and forth attacks between Israel and Iran. The top 2 Democrats running for New York City mayor traded punches at the latest debate, and former New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez is scheduled to report to prison soon. Details coming up on 710 WOR.
From Midtown Manhattan for the entire tri-state area, this is Mendte in the morning on 710 WOR. Filling in for Larry, here's Jimmy Failla.
New York City, you fine thing. You're listening to Mendte in the morning with Jimmy Failla in the chair. Larry is off today, but 710 WOR, the voice of New York, is rocking thanks to my homegirl, Natalie, crash in the booth. Jacqueline's going to give us some news in a little while, but right now, some me and you time on the talkbacks. The iHeart Radio app is where you leave them, and I got to tell you, the bar has been pretty high. They've been pretty supportive. One guy promoted my shows with Sean Hannity. It actually sounded like Hannity, with like he was kind of using a voice changer. I'm not sure. We're trying to move some product over here, folks. Capitalism. But here's another talkback with my name in it specifically, so I'm going to start with this one.
Hey, Jimmy, I grew up in an Italian neighborhood. Shouldn't your last name be pronounced Failla? Nah, you're right to have the word fail in there. It keeps expectations low. I'm just kidding. You're doing great. Larry's job is safe.
I love that. Well, I will tell you this. Everyone, when I started at Fox, would mispronounce my name, obviously, because they try to get ethnic. Failla, that, I've heard my name mispronounced at a family reunion, though. So there's no expectation from.
Do you have a kind of last name where everybody in your family has their own way of saying it?
Yeah.
Or does everybody say Failla?
We say Failla. The Failla family.
Because
Failla.
I married into an Italian family. I'm Greek. But when I married my husband, it was Vaca.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, my kids now are saying Vaca.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah. So they've switched the name after I don't know how many generations. They decided they want to be Vaca.
Is that actually happened in my family? They now just pronounce it a-hole.
Oh, there you go.
There's a lot of tough love. A lot of tough love in the Sicilian family. Here's a quick take on the Israeli attack.
Good morning, Jimmy. Hey, listen, I'm loving every minute of this Israeli attack on Iran.
All right.
You know what? They deserve every single thing. And if anybody complains about it, because I know the Dems are going to go nuts, and I know that people are going to start waving "I stand with Iran" flags, but it drives me nuts. It's Biden's fault. You know what I'm talking about. You know what he did. You know how much money he gave them back. It's his fault.
Well, it is true. He makes a really good point. He makes two good points. One is, yes, they economically empowered Iran by releasing them from the sanctions after Trump left office. But the second point he makes that really jumps out at me as a longtime cab driver, shout out to whoever's in 2G34 right now. If it's cruising the mean streets in New York, 2G34, the medallion I drove, is still in action. So if you're listening in 2G34, you can cut the line, call in, talk back, whatever you want to do. But the minute he said the whole, I know the Democrats are going to start doing the I stand with Iran thing, it's the first thing that crossed my mind last night as I go into cab driver mode. I'm like, Israel struck Iran. Where's there going to be a protest in Midtown tomorrow?
And you're going to avoid it?
Yeah, that's how you, as a cab driver, we follow the news on it for an entirely different reason. It's like, who is the president coming to town? Are the Yankees home? Is it a day game? Is it a night game? What are we protesting?
I never thought about that. So if you know there's going to be a protest, like, I am not going downtown this week.
Not today. In a perfect world. But the most lucrative thing also happens due to traffic disruption in New York City. It's called UN Week, which you guys might not know this. It might be a little bit early in the morning for this sort of thing. But there was a Julia Roberts movie called Pretty Woman, where she had a very specific job. And women who have chosen that vocation in life make cab drivers a lot of money during UN Week because we know how to get them around the street closures and get them to the embassies.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yes, in real life, Pretty Woman has a happy ending. Good night, everybody. Come on, what are we doing here? All right, somebody had some type of reaction to something we said.
Jimmy Failla, I am very, very upset with you, and it's your fault.
Uh-oh.
You made me laugh so hard that I ended up peeing my pants in the car. This never would have happened with Larry, you know. So I'm demanding compensation. So you can either send me your gynecological records or send me a Mendte in the Morning t-shirt.
Oh.
I feel like he might deserve that Mendte in the Morning t-shirt, but he's just going to pee on it. So I don't know what to do there. Stop it. Send us more talkbacks. It's the iHeartRadio app. We're dying to hear them. As you can see, I'm obviously going to play them and react to them. Great stuff so far. You guys are on fire. So before we went to break, I was talking about a new report and I found this very interesting. A lot of employers are talking about Gen Z and soft skills. And according to the survey, 65% of reporters or employers, let me say that in plain English, 65% of employers would rather hire a Gen Z candidate with strong soft skills and no degree than one with a degree but weak soft skills. Meaning they'd rather you be able to do the fundamental things around the office.
Like talk, communicate.
Look people in the eye.
Right.
Show up on time. Maybe wear pants. Right. They'd rather have that than the kids who went to Columbia and got a degree in camping on the quad and chanting from the river.
You have a kid who hasn't entered college yet, so maybe you should think twice. Unfortunately, I've already gone through it. Wasted a lot of money, I guess.
Can I tell you something? I used to bag on myself because I went to Nassau Community College. And I used to be like,
thing ever.
Ever. If you're listening. Number one, it's a lot cheaper. You get transferable credits if you're going towards a 4-year degree.
Yep.
But you don't start out in life $500,000 in the hole.
It is the smartest thing to do. And a lot of high schools now have programs where you can do your associates while you're in high school. Smartest thing ever.
Amen. And we have one son, Lincoln, as you know, and we may very well be pointing him in that direction. But right now, I am pointing you in the direction of the great Jacqueline Carl, who has the news.
Thanks, Jimmy. As a precaution, the NYPD is stepping up security at Jewish, Israeli, and other sites throughout New York City after Israel's military strike against Iran. In a statement, the NYPD wrote, they're coordinating with federal partners and will continue to track the situation in the Middle East for any potential impact to the city. This afternoon, Mayor Eric Adams and NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch will hold a security briefing. Immigration activists in New York are expressing frustration and outrage over what they say is a Trump administration tactic to speed up deportations.
NBC News is reporting the administration is telling judges to dismiss pending immigration cases, making asylum seekers subject to immediate removal proceedings. City Controller and mayoral candidate Brad Lander says masked agents are arresting people who appear for routine hearings.
The immigration courts are very chaotic right now. There are masked FBI and ICE agents in the elevator banks waiting for people.
One immigration attorney calls it ridiculous that the Justice Department is sending directives to judges on how they should rule. Larry Kofsky, WOR News.
So in honor of Father's Day, there's a new survey that recognizes, and I love this, the most loved dads on TV. According to a Roku survey, the overall favorite dad is, can anyone guess?
Oh, I was going to say me, obviously. I kid. They don't know me. But continue. Is the favorite dad on TV?
Well,
go ahead.
It used to be Cosby.
Yeah, well.
And that's probably no longer.
Yeah, he's fallen in the dad status and the bartending rankings as well. Yeah.
Pudding cups have been thrown out. Now it's Tim Taylor from Home Improvement.
Oh, Tim.
Right? How about you guys? What I have a list of them, but what I want to see if you guys have some of the guys on the list.
I loved Mr. Brady.
Yeah.
That
He was
is
a good
on the
dad.
list. He's on the list of vintage TV dads. How about some other dads?
Well, as Crash opined, I think Homer Simpson needs to be in there somewhere.
He is. But it's sort of like down sort of on the list. But he's there.
That's not going to change.
Give us the top five.
Yeah, give us the top five.
Top five: Tim Taylor, Home Improvement. Number 2, Gomez Adams, The Addams Family. Number 3,
How long ago is that?
I know, but Wednesday Addams, the show has come back, so now it's a new. Al Bundy, Married with Children. Red Foreman from that 70s show. Phil Dunphy, which is my favorite from Modern Family. But I say, who didn't make the list, what about Tony Soprano?
Wow.
Right?
He was a really good dad.
I think so.
I agree, and I'm not just saying that because I picked up Crash at the Bada Bing an hour ago. Okay. I do have an affinity for satin dolls. You know who you are if you got that reference.
Well, happy Father's Day, everybody.
Thank you for that. And it is the honor of a lifetime to be a father. I still remember the moment Maury Povich told me it was my kid.
It is. You are the dad.
Life-changing moment for me. The great Jacqueline Carl, everybody. Craig McCarthy, City Hall Bureau Chief at the New York Post, is going to go over the debate with us when we come back. So buckle up, Buttercup. Send us a couple of talkbacks on the iHeart Radio app. We've been playing them on the air. They've been phenomenal. So don't blow it now. Back after this. Failla in for Larry Mendte.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. On the Garden State Parkway, there's a crash northbound exit 138 up to 139. GW Bridge inbound on the upper deck, a 20 to 25 minute delay. Lower deck 15 to 20. And both the Lincoln and Holland Tunnel inbound about 5 to 10. This report sponsored by Anne Frank, the exhibition. Visit AnneFrankExhibit.org today. Journey through history at Anne Frank, the exhibition. Step into Anne's world to experience original artifacts, diary entries, and immersive displays. Discover timeless lessons of resilience, hope, and humanity. Now in New York City. Plan your visit today at AnneFrankExhibit.org. Our next traffic update is in 15 minutes on 710 WOR. Now, let's take a look at the WOR Weather Channel forecast.
Not big rain chances today. A lot of clouds, maybe some sun trying to push through this morning. A passing shower this afternoon. Again, just a slight chance of a passing shower. Maybe a thunderstorm. Cloudy otherwise, 78. Tonight, maybe some showers around, maybe a thunderstorm. Best chance going to be later, 63, 50 suburbs. And I do think some damp streets for Saturday morning. The scattered showers will last into early afternoon. That cloudy, breezy, and cool. High only in the mid-60s. We actually hold near 65 or 66. Cloudy, dry, but cool on Father's Day, 70. Right now, 71 at WOR. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton.
Don't lecture me about journalism under attack when you just spent 4 years telling me that Joe Biden was the best Biden he'd ever been.
Everyone knows CNN's left wing. Everyone knows CNN is a Democrat propaganda outlet. And then with the Biden dementia cover-up, no pretense, full-on propagandists. It's a joke.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. The voices you need for times like this. Weekdays at noon on 710 WOR. Now, more Mendte in the morning.
710 WOR.
Guest hosting today, here's Jimmy Failla.
Jimmy, there's our guy. Mendte in the morning. Jimmy Failla in the Mendte chair here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. One heads up, tonight my national show, Fox Across America, is doing a local edition. We're abandoning the format. As a wise man once said, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. 9 to 12, I am doing a local call-in version of Fox Across America. I'll be sitting here in the WOR studios, a safe distance from my Fox News studio down the block. So you'll actually hear me on radio as you've never heard me before, which is sober. And I kid you, stop it right now. It's a spicy show so far. We've gotten a lot of great talkbacks. You can go to the iHeartRadio app, click on WOR, and send us a talkback. And if we choose it as the talkback of the day, you get that fine Mendte in the Morning t-shirt.
Is there a Failla t-shirt that you could throw in there?
We don't, to be honest with you, we don't have a lot of good merch. They sell the mugs from my TV show. And then over at Fox Across America, they do sell t-shirts and trucker hats. I love them.
Oh.
But nothing can rival the Mendte in the Morning t-shirt.
Especially for free.
Thank you. So let's talk about this real quick because we do have the great Greg McCarthy coming up. Craig McCarthy is, of course, the City Hall bureau chief at the New York Post. He is going to go over last night's debate with us. It was a bit of a food fight. Is he on the line now? Yes, he is. Craig McCarthy in the house, and the crowd goes wild. Hey, Craig.
Hey, thanks for having me this morning.
Of course. That was a wild one last night. Reminded me of an old school prize fight at the Garden.
Yeah, it was definitely a spicy final debate. Still a little bit crowded with 7 people on stage there. They really couldn't whittle it down much more from the 9 of last week.
Yeah, it was a mess, but it seemed to get pretty personal pretty early, courtesy of Mondani. He seemed to be going all in on the character thing.
Yeah, he kept attacking Andrew Cuomo's character. He's second place, consistent polling. He's got to go after the front runner here in Andrew Cuomo. But who really stood out to me and stood out to a lot of people I spoke with is Brad Lander. Mm-hmm. He got this strange endorsement from the New York Times, this panel of 15 people they created instead of endorsing as a paper, and he seemed pretty unleashed last night. I mean, he landed kind of the harshest attacks on Cuomo, and it really looked like it had Cuomo rattled for a bit.
Mm-hmm. I don't doubt. We're talking to Craig McCarthy, who is, of course, City Hall bureau chief of the New York Post. Thing about Lander is he's had the cleanest ride so far because he's managed to stay outside of the scrum. I believe Mondani and Cuomo have eaten up most of the negative headlines, and that might be the off-ramp that voters are looking for. I mean, if we were handicapping this like a horse race, who do you think has the momentum right now?
Well, at this point, I feel like we don't really know whether Adrian Adams or Lander, who've constantly been in the 3rd and 4th place in the polls here, will pick up any steam. It's really been Mondani having all the momentum since over the last few months. I mean, I've always kind of thought that Lander was sort of the dark horse here, right? He could probably grab a bunch of votes from the Mondani camp because as a second and third choice, but a lot of people might go for him because he's not a socialist and not giving everything away for free. He has citywide experience. He's the controller right now. But, it hasn't seemed to happen. It seems like Mondani kind of outflanked him on the left and kind of stole all the oxygen of what he's seemingly looking to do over the last year in gearing up this run.
We are the voice of New York.
This is Mendte in the Morning.
710 WOR.
In for Larry, here's Jimmy Failla.
There it is, Mendte in the Morning with Jimmy Failla in the chair. Some of you might recognize me as the 9 p.m. to midnight host here on WOR. It is, of course, week 1 when I'm not out doing radio. My side hustle is, of course, hosting a TV show called Fox News Saturday Night every weekend at 10 p.m. on the Fox News channel. And I thought that my fill-in role was going pretty well today, but apparently it isn't because they're sending in some heavy-duty backup. Okay, it's one thing if we're like taking calls or doing talkbacks, but when they're sending in Rory O'Neill, our WOR national correspondent, they're sending the wolf. Okay, this is Pulp Fiction. Apparently, I got myself in a pickle. Mr. O'Neill, what do I need to do? Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, you're the one that has to pay me today, right? It's whoever's filling in.
That's how this works. So, well, listen, what's a 6-pack of Meisterbrow going to set me back these days? I'm happy to pay you.
But for an O'Neill, we'll take it.
Listen, it really segues well into what we're doing because there's two things going on. We've got California, we've got Father's Day, and Gavin Newsom has managed to combine them because all the electronics are free in downtown Los Angeles right now if you get to the right Apple store.
But if you do want to spend it and do it legitimately, $24 billion in spending for Father's Day, that's a record high. By the way, for comparison, it's $34 billion that we spend on Mother's Day.
There you go.
Is that true? I mean, because I treat my mom like a queen and take her to White Castle.
And then you think about your dad. You're like, when am I going to get him?
well, the racket is, dad is off. Go ahead.
Yeah, we don't do this anymore, but back in the day, it used to be that it was the number one day for collect calls in the country was Father's Day.
Collect calls.
Do you remember the old school, like 10-10-3-2-1? They were these, you dialed them and it let you, bang in. I remember those commercials back in the day. So obviously the discrepancy in spending is, the fact we go a little bit bigger for mom than we do for dad. And I think one of the reasons the dad spending is down in houses like mine is dad is buying the gifts for mom and dad is buying the gifts for dad anyway. So you usually tell people not to spend too much because it's your money. Is that what they attribute that to?
Well, I think it's also, all right, Dad, I'll mow the lawn for you this week instead. I'll pressure wash the driveway. So we sort of do a lot of in-kind services. But per dad, it's actually pretty significant. It's just under $200, $199.38, according to the NRF. So it's still a hefty amount of money. What is it? 53% plan to buy clothes for dad. Half said they would get a gift card, but many are planning some sort of a special outing to honor dad.
Well, listen, one thing I want to add to that then, since we got you on the line, Rory O'Neill, is anyone planning a dad outing needs to make it time friendly. Here's a quick 2-second story. My first year of driving a cab was the year my son was born.
Time's up.
I'm sorry. You're the worst. So the year my son was born, I'm driving a New York City taxi, 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. doing comedy at night. It's, an 84-hour work week. Saturday night, I get home for what I think is going to be my first 5-hour stretch of sleep since 1992. And 2 hours into that sleep, I get woken up by my wife with a happy Father's Day, hands me the baby. She says, I know you love horse racing. Let's take Lincoln to see the animals. We're going to Belmont Raceway to watch the morning jog. So what I thought might have been 5 hours of sleep turned into a hostage situation at the Belmont racetrack. So if you're planning something for dad that is an event, you got to be mindful of time. That's all this dad is asking.
That's not a lot to ask.
If there's a pause, think of something else quick. And no gift cards. Can we agree no gift cards?
Who gets a gift card for their dad?
It is. It's so...
That's terrible.
It is bad. Just, at that point...
The NRF says it's all about subscription services these days. Everyone's getting a beer of the month, whiskey of the month, sausage of the month. That's the new thing for dad.
Yes, that's what I was going to ask you. It's the steak subscriptions. I've gotten a steak subscription. Someone gifted me a steak subscription. Dads do love that because they want to cook. They want to take it easy, be around the house. I got basically my wife, I'm not kidding, over the years has gotten me the cigar, the steak, and the whiskey. She's basically trying to kill me and get some life insurance out of this. Is she not?
I think we've all chipped in for that, yeah.
All right, that's enough out of you, Rory O'Neill. You know what? I knew this was going to be a scrum. I had no idea how low it was going to go. I kid. You still got it? All right, we're heading down to the 7-Eleven now. We'll pick up those Meisterbrows. Have a great day, my man.
Thanks, Jimmy. Happy Father's Day.
You too. The great Rory O'Neill, who tells you that get dad a subscription. Dad likes a subscription. Okay, he doesn't want your gift card. He doesn't want a gift that he knows you bought along with something for yourself. It's Mendte in the Morning. Fail in the chair back after this.
We hear you, New York, loud and clear.
Why do I listen to WOR? Hey, you got to get straight answers from somebody, right?
Always the voice of New York. 710 WOR.
An iHeart radio station.
It's 71 degrees at 8 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Jacqueline Carl. Israel says Iran has fired around 100 attack drones during Israeli territory. Now, that apparently is in response to the attacks launched earlier by Israel targeting Iran's nuclear program. ABC News foreign correspondent Marcus Moore is in Tel Aviv.
Overnight, Israel carrying out a major attack inside Iran aimed at crippling its nuclear program and preventing Iran from building a nuclear bomb. Multiple waves of strikes throughout the night across multiple cities, hitting nuclear enrichment facilities and ballistic missile centers, and several top military leaders and nuclear scientists were assassinated. Multiple residential buildings engulfed in flames in Iran's capital.
And the top 2 Democrats running for New York City mayor traded punches at the latest debate Thursday night.
Former Governor Andrew Cuomo called 33-year-old Assemblyman Zoran Mamdani unprepared to be mayor at Thursday's debate, adding, quote, to put a person in this seat at this time with no experience is reckless and dangerous. Mamdani's response, quote, I have never had to resign in disgrace, and I have never hounded the 13 women who credibly accused me of harassment. Mamdani also accused Cuomo of intentionally mispronouncing his name during the debate. Early primary voting begins Saturday. Andrew Whitman, WOR News.
Former New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez has lost his bid for bail as his scheduled date to report to prison looms.
Former New Jersey Senator Robert Menendez is readying to report to federal prison on Tuesday to start his 11-year prison sentence. It comes as a federal appeals panel this week rejected his request to remain free on bail as he fights his corruption conviction. Menendez was found guilty last July of accepting cash, gold bars, and a Mercedes, along with acting as a foreign agent for Egypt. His wife Nadine, also found guilty of the scheme in April, will be sentenced in June. The former senator already had his prison reporting delayed so he could attend his stepdaughter's wedding. Jennifer Pulsoni, WOR News.
It's 71 degrees at 8:02.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. Slow going on Long Island South Shore, the Southern State Parkway, eastbound Grand Avenue, exit 20 out to 21. Brookside Avenue, there's a crash blocking the left lane. 22 westbound in Union between Springfield Road and Hillside Avenue, jammed because of a crash on the shoulder. 25 to 30-minute delays. GW Bridge upper deck, lower deck 20 to 25. No waiting at the Lincoln. 5 to 10 at the Holland. This report is sponsored by whyrefi.com. Is private student loan debt ruining your life? It doesn't have to. Why Refi refinances private student loans that others won't touch, and they don't care what your credit score is. Just go to whyrefi.com. That's whyrefi.com. Our next traffic update is in 15 minutes on 710 WOR.
Car feeling cramped? Time for an upgrade. Boyfriend not the one. Time for an upgrade. You constantly upgrade your life. Why not upgrade your checking account too? Check out Truist One Checking. No overdraft fees, packed with perks. And as your balance grows, we upgrade your perks automatically. One simple choice. Get Truist One Checking today. Visit truist.com/one. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
At Homes.com, we do whatever it takes to get you the in-depth info on local schools you won't find anywhere else. Things like student-teacher ratio, test scores, and school programs. And sometimes that requires attending school recitals. So many recitals.
That's my son. Isn't he terrific?
Yeah, a real prodigy. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Your favorite artists?
In your library.
Your favorite songs?
In your playlist.
But your favorite morning show?
They make me laugh every day. Or your favorite team in action.
Oh my goodness, he caught it!
Or your live local news, traffic, and weather?
Implications from coast to coast.
Yep, there's an app for all that too.
iHeartRadio.
We're not just streaming music, we're streaming moments.
Everyone wants to be here. Join the millions of Americans.
And add us to your entertainment lineup now. Download the #1 app for radio.
The free iHeartRadio app.
I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic with the WOR forecast from the Weather Channel. Not going to be too aggressive with any rain chances today. If you see a shower, you blink, you're probably going to miss it. So do you really see it? Maybe even a thunder shower this afternoon. Small chance of rain, most of us dry. Clouds with maybe some sun, 78. A few showers, thunder showers tonight. Best chance as we head toward the overnight and sunrise tomorrow morning. 63 cities, suburbs cooler. Showers into early afternoon tomorrow. Temperatures are only going to hold in the mid-60s and a chance of a shower on Father's Day. Otherwise cloudy and dry, near 70. Currently 69 at WOR.
In sports, the Mets win again and sweep the Nationals 4-3 at Citi Field Thursday. Mets at 45-24 have the best record in baseball. They've won 6 straight and 15 of their last 18 games. Mets open a set with the Rays tonight in Flushing, Queens. The Yanks win despite some rain in Kansas City 1-0 and sweep the series from the Royals. Yanks visit Fenway Park at the Red Sox tonight. It's 8:05. Next news at 8:30. Breaking news at once. I'm Jacqueline Coral on 710 WOR.
Now, back to Mendte in the morning on 710 WOR. Guest hosting today, here's Jimmy Failla.
Here we go. It's Mendte in the morning with Jimmy Failla sitting in for Larry. He is off today, but I'll tell you who's on. It's the talkback. It is the folks that have gone to the iHeartRadio app, clicked on WOR, 710 WOR, and left us a talkback. We've gotten a lot of great ones. We're going to share them with our next guest when he joins us here shortly. He is, of course, a superstar comedian by the name of Charles McBee. But I do want to encourage you to keep sending in those iHeartRadio talkbacks, because one of you is going to win a Mendte in the Morning t-shirt. And let's be honest, if you're in a pinch, it's Father's Day on Sunday, and you want a gift that's really going to knock your dad's socks off. I mean, seriously. I mean, this is the kind of gift where if your dad hasn't talked to you in 20 years, you roll up with a Mendte in the Morning t-shirt. You're getting the band back together. You better clear your schedule for the foreseeable future. I mean, you talk about swag.
I never thought about that.
When people really talk, it's the diamond the lady threw at the end of Titanic. You know, Kate Winslet at the end of, Heart Will Go On, but who needs the diamond, that whole thing. Mm-hmm. You're looking for the Hope Diamond or you're looking for the Mendte in the Morning t-shirt. And I believe they appraise for the same amount.
I think the shirt might be a little bit more, but you've got your appraiser, I got mine.
It's Mendte in the Morning with Jimmy Failla, and I forgive, you have to forgive me in the tri-state area if you're listening to the show. I am cursed with really good wake-up energy. I don't know if anybody listening suffers from this, but as a former cab driver, I would get up at 3 a.m. and write before I picked up my cab at 5 a.m., so I'm used to just being up. But the curse of this is by, 2 p.m. in the afternoon, I'm getting deep REM sleep at red lights, and people are sitting in the back of my cab like, honey, we should probably get out. That whole thing.
Well, your safety, I hope that doesn't happen, but as long as you can make it to 10 o'clock, that's all I care about.
That's all you need out of me.
Yeah.
Natalie, I feel so used. The big three, as we get underway in this hour. Israel, of course, launching strikes on Iran last night, taking out their top military leaders. Listen, we believe there could be more strikes imminent. President Trump has been pretty active on Truth Social in encouraging them to make a deal. He's actually, of all things, he's using the old Nike phrase, just do it. I'm not making that up. Trump truthing just a short while ago. 2 months ago, I gave Iran a 60-day ultimatum to make a deal. They should have done it. Today is day 61. I told them what to do, but they just couldn't get there. Now they have perhaps a second chance. So Trump is saying, get it together, or you're going to get, we're headed into thank you, sir, may I have another territory. And one thing I will tell you about that as we continue to monitor the story is we're certainly not done. They're going wall to wall with it on all of the news networks as I sit here broadcasting to you. So there will undoubtedly be updates as we move on. The New York City mayoral debate went on last night. It looked a lot like a Real Housewives reunion on Bravo. There was no one threw any wine, but to be honest with you, they definitely needed it, and that's why. At a normal debate, you go through one glass of wine. At that debate last night, it was something. I felt like I was at a Phillies game. People were cursing and screaming. There was all kinds of hair pulling. Wasn't pretty. And then, of course, we had the update as well. Oh, the guest is ready. So you just got big two, and you cut me off on the way to the big three. But an appeals court.
You can finish your three.
Yeah, just the thing about Natalie is, you really are a show pony when you sit in this chair. Like, for real, we go to commercial, she puts a glittery saddle on and then just kicks you in the side. Do the big three. I'm not used to this because my radio producer is usually on some adult website by now. We're 3 minutes into the hour. He's either placing a bet on DraftKings or flirting with a horny housewife who's 3 miles away and wants to meet up.
Well, that's not happening here, but...
Clearly.
I could be distracted. I'll just go on Pinterest.
No, I love you, but you are on it, and I love this. It's a good thing. But an appeals court blocked the ruling that was ordering Donald Trump to return control of the National Guard to California. And that's a back and forth thing. There have been appeals. There have been stays. A lot has happened. But I'm not a legal expert, although I am 2-0 in traffic court as a cab driver. I got out of both of my tickets.
Good for you.
Yes, and joining me now, a man who can attest to my legal prowess, a superstar comedian, Instagram influencer, and a man who has no idea what he just got himself into. Charles McBee on the line. Yo, McBee.
Yo, what's up? I was not blessed with the up in the morning curse, so this is perfect.
Can I tell you something? She said we needed to move your time slot because of Israel. She told me this at like 4:30 this morning. She's like, "Can you text your friend?" I was like, "No, I actually can't because he's not seeing this till 8:02."
Oh, believe me. Over the years of doing talk radio in the morning and having to have comedians on, usually I avoid it because I'm like, they're never going to do anything yet.
That's funny.
Or try to at least do 9 a.m. And hope they are awake.
I asked you, and to her credit, because that's what I asked her, I was like, what's the latest available time slot we can give McBee if we're going to make him call in? But Charles McBee is actually a productive comedian. Maybe you don't wake up well, but you do get a lot done once the party starts, no?
That's right. And let me tell you something. Because I knew I was coming on to do a show with you, I am thoroughly impressed by the organization and professionalism that is going on this morning. I mean, not because of you, Jimmy, of course, but because of everyone around you. I was like, what's going on here? I'm not used to this.
No, you don't understand. Because he's used to calling into my show. And my show it's a free-for-all.
It's a mess.
Yeah, he knows that.
It's a mess.
No, but that's the whole hook of Fox Across America is it's designed to make the listener think they could get a radio show someday. Because you hear mine and you're like, oh yeah, what is even happening here? I probably get a shot at one of these things. And we kind of do it free range chicken style. Over here, it's adult radio is what we're doing right now, which is me winking at you and telling you to clean up your act for the rest of the interview. Okay? I can't.
Yeah, Jimmy's idea of adult radio over at Fox is a whole different meaning. The adult has a whole different
Exactly.
All right. Well, since you brought up Andrew Cuomo's behavior, there's a couple of, Cuomo's obviously, he's running for mayor against this Mamdani guy who everybody thinks is anti-Semitic. And there was a time where that would disqualify you. But in a city where Columbia University happens to be, that's actually probably the best thing Mamdani has going for him with the youth vote is that he doesn't like Israel, no?
You think he's a shoo-in?
Columbia. Well, that's what's going to happen. He's going to lose the mayor race and he's going to become the president of Columbia. That's how this is probably going to end. And
there you go. I think they have a revolving door of applicants going on over there.
Yeah, there's a lot happening. I just want to say this, McBee. This stuff never happened at the schools I went to. We didn't have protests. Nobody barricaded themselves inside of a building. At Nassau Community College, the only time anyone protested is when they ran out of Schlitz at Nickel Beer Night. There was that one night. It's like campus-wide outrage because McKeeb's didn't have another keg of Schlitz. He
looks young enough to be a freshman there.
He does. He has that, and he has freshman ideals because he just wants to give a lot of things away that sound great but aren't actually.
The party.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said earlier. He's running for class president. That's what's happening. That's politics today. You get on Instagram, you hit a tennis ball with your shirt off, or you do some type of breakdance move, and you're like, elect me. And some people are like, yeah, I like his videos. He should be in charge. But here's a newsflash, McBee. He shouldn't be in charge.
Maybe you can get a radio.
Yeah, that's enough. Comedian Charles McBee is on the line. They're taking a lot of shots at the champ. We had 2 very good hours to start. The talkbacks were very pleasant, but now they have clearly upped the difficulty level in hour number 3. We're having a nice time. As a guy who goes to L.A. a lot, it's funny because we've been watching this coverage of, things were on fire. There was looting. There was, stuff of that nature. There was the back and forth between Trump and Newsom. But the thing about L.A. that really kills me when I go there is, and I think you and I have talked about this. The reason as comics we like to live in New York is because we're better looking than the homeless people here. When you go to L.A., right, the homeless people demoralize you because they're so much better looking than we are, no?
Right. They're so much better looking than we are out there. And their story out there. Like here, you meet a homeless person or you walk by a homeless person, you don't know what their story is. You don't know. You're just like, oh my God, how did they end up in this way? But out there, you're just like, oh, you came out here with dreams to be an actor. And it didn't work. And you had too much ego to move back to Nebraska. And here we are.
But they look good. And I'm walking down.
It looks great.
I'm walking down, Sunset and Vine. I'm like, hey, how about you give me $1? Like, where did you get those Versace jeans? But that is why, and no one is factoring this into the analysis. They keep talking about the riots and everything like that. But it is, you can riot year round in LA. and no one factors this in. There's a lot of paid protesters, a lot of agitators, a lot of dirtbags. But as comics, I think we have a unique entree into why that lifestyle and, exists out there. One, it's the industry of Hollywood, and as you said, people following their dreams and crashing out. Two is it's gorgeous out all the time. So, like, if you're going to riot in New York, you got a tight month or two to do it each summer. Okay, whereas L.A., the whole year's riot season.
Also, right now with the paid protesters or whatnot, it's the only acting jobs that's going right now. I mean, it's pretty dry out there in these acting streets. I don't know if you know this, Jimmy. The work is dry, so you got to get in where you fit in.
That might have been the best one yet. Everybody who wanted to make it in showbiz used to wait tables. They're like, what do you do during the day job? You're like, you wait tables. They're like, what do you do during the day now? They're like George Soros. You're like, okay. If anybody needs me, I'll be throwing a rock at a cop car.
You know what's funny about L.A.? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, just real quick, and then she's going to make me go to break. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you're looking on social media, because you say we go to L.A. all the time. You're looking on social media, and you're like, oh, my God, the L.A. is on fire again. It's chaos. It's pandemonium. And then somebody goes, yeah, it's happening downtown. And you're like, downtown L.A.? Oh, God. It's always...
it's a different... Downtown L.A. for the last 30 years has basically looked like the second half of the Thriller video, where Michael's walking home and... But looking back on Thriller, the most shocking part of that video is not the werewolf. It's that Michael Jackson had a girlfriend. But McBee, I leave you here. They're kicking the show pony. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right, buddy.
The great Charles McBee. Folks dig this. They're now telling us we don't need 10,000 steps to be healthy. I don't know who to follow on any of this. Plus, we have tickets to give away to see James Taylor. Hot damn, don't go anywhere.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. We have some major delays on the Major Deegan southbound approaching 230th Street. There was a crash. It's been cleared away, but leftover slowdowns and pretty heavy on the Cross Bronx coming and going. Eastbound, slow from the Alexander Hamilton Bridge out to Webster Avenue. Westbound, slow White Plains Road out to Sheridan Boulevard. GW Bridge inbound on the upper deck, a 25 to 30 minute delay. Lower deck 20 to 25. Lincoln Tunnel, no problems. Holland Tunnel 10 to 15 from both approaches. 22 is slow westbound into Hillside Avenue because of a crash, and the Garden State Parkway is heavy northbound into exit 139. There's an accident there. Our next traffic update is coming up in 15 minutes. Now, let's take a look at the WOR Weather Channel forecast.
A lot of gray sky around, but these are not rain-producing clouds. There's actually some clear sky trying to get on through, and it may at times as we head through the day, but really don't see too much in the way of clearing. Maybe a spotty shower or two, thunder shower this afternoon. Nothing to cancel outdoor plans right through this evening. And then overnight, I really think that's the better chance. A little bit more widespread shower action towards sunrise, 63, suburbs a little cooler. Saturday will start off damp with scattered showers tapering off in the early afternoon. Cool day as we get kind of a breeze off the Atlantic, staying in the mid-60s. Sunday, Father's Day, cloudy, mainly dry near 70 degrees. Just going to throw in a passing shower or two. Right now, 69 at WOR. I'm meteorologist Ray Staging. Here's Jacqueline with a check of today's top stories.
Good morning, Ray. There have been back and forth attacks between Israel and Iran. The top two Democrats running for New York City mayor traded punches at the latest debate, and former New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez is scheduled to report to prison soon. Details coming up on 710 WOR.
This is Jimmy Failla inviting you to join me tonight from 9 p.m. to midnight on Fox Across America, the show that takes the issue seriously but never takes itself seriously. Folks, the world's on fire. I'm just roasting marshmallows on the blaze. Pick up a stick and join me at 9 p.m. right here on the legendary 710 WOR.
You're listening to Mendte in the Morning. 710 WOR. In for Larry, here's Jimmy Failla.
It is Mendte in the Morning. Jimmy Failla in for Larry Mendte, who is off today. Nevertheless, we maintain the same standards of broadcast excellence over here at 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I've been encouraging you guys all day to send us some talkbacks on the iHeart Radio app. And to be clear, you've been killing it. And by it, I mean my will to live. No, you guys have been great. You haven't been that harsh. The guests have been harsh. The producers have been harsh. But the actual talkbacks have been phenomenal. So let's get a few more of them. This one's about retro dads. I love this.
You're looking for retro dads? Start with Judge Hardy, Ozzie Nelson, Fred McMurray, and my three sons, Andy Griffith,
fair,
and Archie Bunker.
Well, Archie Bunker, if you guys aren't familiar with his work, you can see it every day at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in the Oval Office. We essentially elected our version of Archie Bunker to the presidency, Donald Trump, and nobody's having a better time than him. He mentioned Fred McMurray. Fred McMurray is actually in one of my all-time favorite films, The Apartment with Jack Lemmon. And it's a fantastic movie if you've never seen it. It's one of my plain movies. But let's keep this party going. We got another one here about Father's Day gift cards I wanted to hear.
Now, hold on a second. Natalie.
Oh.
And Jimmy and whoever else, but Natalie, you're the one that said it first. You are the one that says that a gift card for Father's Day is, I quote, horrible. Are you kidding me? That is the best, most thoughtful gift that you can give. You're basically saying, hey, here's the money. You get what you want.
I believe that was Simon from Simon Malls.
All right. Exactly. Do you like a gift card?
No.
All right. Yeah, because maybe I was looking at it wrong. If I gave a gift card to my dad, he'd be like, what?
I really don't mind a subscription service. I get that men are hard to shop for. And the gift card really is the marriage of those two conveniences. Because a gift card is, I'm going to the store to get this, and by the way, I've got to pick up a gift card for that. They now have a whole section. Like, at this point, we should just be handing each other money, or not even exchanging gifts. Because when you get to the point that it's a gift card, you're basically, I've put no thought into this.
It's like, all right, I'm going to Zelle you some money, Dad.
Yeah, this is convenient for me. That's the point. Yeah, happy Father's Day. They should give you a card now that just has their Venmo in it. Here, hit me up here, and we're good to go. Send us more talkbacks. We've got a bunch to get to, but Natalie wants me to move on. There's a Japanese walking trend, and it may be better than 10,000 steps a day, and you only need 30 minutes to do it. So this is what everyone is kidding themselves into thinking will work now.
Right.
Guys, listen. Eat a little bit better, stay active, okay? And you've got a fighting chance in life. But every one of these dumb fads are designed to get you interested in working out again. But you'll eventually get bored with this one, too. So you got to walk, instead of the 10,000 steps, because let's face it, you don't have time to do that. You now do the 30 minutes at this specific interval. And the way I looked at the video on this, you look like a guy who was online at a theme park and you realized halfway to the front you're going to need the restroom. It's it's an unflattering way to walk down the street.
It's kind of like that speed walking look.
Yeah, it's not good. And I'm just telling you because I care, guys. Like, if I wasn't on TV, I would be a before model. That being said, when you have to lose weight, eat a little bit better. Folks, here we go. It is time to win some concert tickets.
I've seen fire and I've seen rain. You've got a friend.
Folks, now is your time to win a pair of tickets to see James Taylor at PNC Bank Arts Center on August 30th. Just be caller number 5 at 800-321-0710. That's 800-321-0710. And you are the winner. As a reminder, tickets are on sale at Ticketmaster.com right now. Although I can't promise you the concert's going to be as long as that promo was. That was a heck of a long intro there. But the tickets go into the fifth caller. Jacqueline joins us now.
Good morning. A state of emergency has been declared in Israel after it carried out preemptive strikes against Iranian nuclear sites and military officials. All this comes just after President Trump confirmed the U.S. was pulling some staffers from the Middle East amid rising tensions. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says there was no U.S. involvement in the strikes against Iran. Meanwhile, the NYPD is tracking the situation in the Middle East and increasing security locally.
As a precaution, the NYPD stepping up security at Jewish, Israeli, and other sites throughout the city after Israel's military strike against Iran. In a statement, the NYPD says they're coordinating with federal partners and will continue to track the situation in the Middle East for any potential impact to the city. New York City Mayor Eric Adams and NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch already will be holding a security briefing this afternoon ahead of anticipated weekend No King's Day protests, and now the security concerns stemming from the Middle East. Jennifer Bolsoni, WOR News.
All right, Jimmy, it is Friday at 8:30, and we are going to play now real or fake news headlines. I'm going to read 5 headlines. You have to say whether they are real or fake.
Oh, I
ready?
love this. Let's go. Rock and roll.
Number 1, Chinese hack of sleeping while hanging by their chin criticized by doctors.
I'm going to say real because everything on TikTok is so stupid.
It is real. According to the New York Post, a quirky Chinese trend shows seniors looping a U-shaped belt under their chins, clipping it to playground bars, and gently swinging to cure insomnia and neck pain. But sleep specialists call it a physics experiment on your spinal cord. Okay, headline 2. KFC unveils new lettuce-free salad that's just chicken nuggets.
It sounds real, but I'm going to say fake just to play
You're
ball.
right. 2 for 2.
Jimmy.
3, man funding research to create real-world X-Men within 5 years.
I do believe that some nerd, comic book nerd who lucked into money wants to do that. I say real.
Man, you have your finger on the pulse. This is real. According to the Mirror, Bitcoin-rich futurist Herbert Sims says he's pouring cash into Neurochip.com, a London startup, testing a helmet that reads brain waves and converts them into computer commands with no brain implant required. He claims the project could lead to genetically or robotically enhanced mutants capable of fighting disease and extending lifespans to 500 years. Number 4, millennial sue retirement planning app for, quote, harsh vibes.
That's got to be real.
You know what? I would have thought so too, but it's fake. Last one, bear captured from suburban backyard again.
No, again? I say real.
It is. Jimmy. According to WTOP, a young black bear with a fondness for backyards was tranquilized and moved for the second time after roaming into Herndon, Virginia. They nicknamed him Eldon because he had a previous visit to nearby Eldon Street.
Oh, well, apparently he's eating good in the neighborhood.
He did great, though.
I feel good. I mean, listen, I got an 80%. That's higher than any grade I got in high school or college. I'll take a bow.
Take it.
There it is. The winner of the James Taylor concert tickets, June Maller in New Jersey, is going to the PNC Bank Arts Center to see James Taylor. How about it, June? She didn't mention anything about bringing me, so that's where the congratulation ends. But a judge has declared a mistrial on the rape count in the Harvey Weinstein sex crimes retrial after some jury chaos. We will talk with Peter Haralambous, ABC News investigative reporter, when we come back.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. A couple of crashes being cleared on Long Island. One on the Meadowbrook northbound into Old Country Road. Another on the LIE westbound into Route 111, exit 56. GW Bridge inbound on the upper deck, a 5 to 10 minute delay. No waiting on the lower level. Lincoln Tunnel, you're fine. Holland Tunnel 10 to 15 from both approaches. This report is sponsored by Thundercat Technology. Need smarter IT solutions at Thundercat Technology? They're more than just a reseller. They're your partner in progress. From cutting-edge hardware to innovative software solutions, they help businesses thrive. Visit thundercattech.com for more info. Our next traffic update is in 15 minutes on 710 WOR. Now let's take a look at the WOR Weather Channel forecast.
Running the clouds in here this morning. So far, radar stayed pretty cleaned up, and I think for the most part for today, we'll see it stay fairly dry. We do have a mention of a shower, maybe a thunder shower, but really not much. I think if you talk to 10 people, maybe 1 or 2 say, hey, I got a raindrop or 2. 78 today's high. Tonight, a better chance of some rain later, a few showers coming in, maybe a thunder shower. That's probably after 2 a.m. and toward morning. And then on Saturday, some scattered showers until about midday, early afternoon. Then a cool day tomorrow. Clouds in mid-60s. The temperatures basically hold steady all day. Only a little bit better Sunday, but just a small chance of a shower. For Father's Day, will go mainly cloudy. A passing shower or 2, high 70. Right now, 69 at WOR. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
Jesse Kelly.
I want to talk to you about protecting the retirement you've earned.
When the fall back becomes the fallout.
You spent your life putting money away. Protect it. We are in the midst of possibly the start of a war, a big one.
When uncertainty begs the question.
Don't wake up tomorrow with the bubble popped and you're wiped out. But how do you do that?
Jesse Kelly has the answer. Weeknights 6 till 9 on 710 WOR. From Midtown Manhattan for the entire tri-state area. This is Mendte in the Morning on 710 WOR. Filling in for Larry, here's Jimmy Failla.
710 WOR, the voice of New York. Mendte in the Morning. Jimmy Failla in the chair for Larry, who is off today. Reminder to send us your talkbacks on the iHeart Radio app. One of you will win a Mendte in the Morning t-shirt. Joining us now on the line, a man who probably has dozens of them. He is, of course, a superstar. ABC News investigative reporter Peter Haralambous joining us now. Hello, Peter.
Good morning. Thanks so much for the kind introduction.
Oh, wait, listen, I have to butter up my guests so they put up with me.
You're doing a great job of that, I got to
say. There's a lot of razzle-dazzle to distract from my glaring lack of intellect. Now, have you ever gotten a Mendte in the Morning t-shirt? Because I have not, and I've done a lot for this show. I've never been offered the t-shirt. You?
No, neither have I. That seems... I would love a Larry. I'm an extra large for what it's worth.
Okay. You got it, Peter.
Well, Peter, if it makes you feel any better, your extra large is my target weight right now. So you got that going for you. Neither of us have a shirt, but you could wear both sizes should they come in. Let me ask you this, since we've got you on the line and we're so excited to hear what you have to say about it. So the judge declared a mistrial on the rape count in the Harvey Weinstein sex crime retrial. And it sounds like the one juror who wouldn't bend told the judge he didn't feel safe in the room with them. Things sound like things had to have gotten pretty intense, no?
Yeah, I mean, we're still piecing together the pieces of how exactly this happened. But it increasingly looks like that foreman, the one who was saying that he was getting threatened, the one who said that another juror told him that he wanted to meet him outside. It appears that person was the holdout. After court yesterday, the jurors met with the judge. The judge told the court that it seemed like actually the threats weren't that bad. A few of these jurors actually spoke to media outlets, kind of pushing back against the foreman's narrative that he was being attacked basically in that jury room, and basically made it seem like they had an impassioned deliberation, that it ended with them getting closer and closer to a verdict on that third and final count. But it was really that juror that ended it. Basically, he told the judge that he didn't feel comfortable going back in there, and because of that, the judge decided to declare a mistrial. With that, it looks like Harvey Weinstein not only faces the possibility of life in prison, basically dying there, all things considered, between his two different convictions, but also the possibility of another trial. The Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has signaled that he's willing to retry this case just on that individual count, meaning we could be doing this all over again in a few months.
Wow, everything in Hollywood gets a sequel. So it's kind of fitting, unfortunately. Peter Haralambous
for Harvey.
Yeah, for sure. That's true. Good point. Peter Haralambous, ABC News investigative reporter. It's interesting to me that the dynamic in these juror rooms plays such a pivotal role in a case like this, and I only bring that up because I know downtown at the Diddy trial, they have some other issue about a juror possibly not remaining on the case. Did you see anything about that?
Yeah, we haven't gotten an update from the judge since it came up 2 days ago, but it appears there was one juror who prosecutors say was a bit dishonest when he was asked about his knowledge of the case. At this point, the defense is pushing strongly against releasing that juror, saying that it would be racially biased, that they're basically just trying to remove a black juror from this jury pool. But it really goes to show you the stakes of what one juror can do here in the entire trial. If we look across at high-profile trials, yes, some of them come back with a verdict quickly, but you can look at things like this Harvey Weinstein case or this case called We Build the Wall. It was originally charged against Steve Bannon. He was pardoned, but one of his co-defendants went to trial. He ended up getting a hung jury because of one very stubborn juror who really refused to buy into the case theory. That's all it really takes for a case to be a success, at least in the eyes of these defendants who might not necessarily be getting an acquittal, but a hung jury might be a win enough.
Yeah, it might be enough. What's so fascinating right now is the dynamic on display here is you have all this expertise that revolves around the courtroom. I am a former cab driver who only knows how to beat a traffic ticket. And we've managed to meet in the middle so far, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Peter Haralambous on the line, navigating a 500-point IQ gap between him and myself as we take you through some of the legal goings-on. The other thing I read, and this is just pure sensationalism, this is not specific to your legal acumen, but there are reports today that Kanye West, now known as Ye, could be attending the Diddy trial sometime soon. He's in touch with the family. So that trial could be heading into circus mode.
Yes. I mean, this whole thing about Kanye, there's speculation. There's at least one report confirming it. All of this to say, apparently, Mr. West wants to attend the trial, wants to show his support. And it was speculation yesterday that he might have been under a pseudonym or just anonymously mentioned in the testimony. None of that is confirmed. That is just speculation. But basically, this came as there was a 2-hour behind closed-door conversation where defense attorneys wanted to have this person in the courtroom because they might have knowledge relevant to this testimony. And all this testimony focused on a 2020 alleged freak off, in Las Vegas with a famous rapper. So one can piece together the potential pieces that links Kanye to this, though that's all confirmed. His people have not commented on this, but apparently there is a desire among Combs's camp to have him attending this court, this trial.
Real quick before I let you go, just based on my limited legal acumen, can the defense invoke the famous protective clause, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas?
I don't think that works in a New York courtroom.
It went, Peter. I gave it a shot, man. I brought all I could to the table. Stellar work by yourself, as always. Thank you. And if you don't get a Mendte in the Morning t-shirt now, you're never gonna.
Okay, please put the request in. Natalie, extra large. Thank you very much.
You got it.
The great Peter Haralambous. Listen, one thing we have to add as we're sitting here having this conversation is that this sensationalism around the Diddy trial with, all the rappers and all the people hanging in the balance, it's something that we cover from afar on my TV show over at Fox on Saturday night, because you never know where these developments are going to go. We're doing a comedy show and everything like that. But Lower Manhattan has had no shortage of drama. You know what we were doing this time a year ago, just about? It was Trump was on trial, then you got Diddy, then you got Weinstein and stuff like that. And it brings me back to my cab driving days and makes me thankful that I'm not driving around Lower Manhattan right now, because I got a lot of street closures and stuff like that. You see, Natalie, just because I get to host with your fancy pants radio studio, I'm still thinking of my boys in the street right now.
Should.
It's called keeping it real, Natalie. Just want you to know that there's a person over here that you're beating up. It's not just
I think I am treating you very nicely.
I love Natalie.
But,
you got to know what's so funny about this is everything is so perfect. It's so organized. It's so wonderful. It's like it's almost too good to be true for me.
Well, I could see you're very uncomfortable with the...
I'm having the best time ever. I'm not uncomfortable at all. It's just that I have a staff back home that I pay in Tide Pods and tequila. And
I don't mind.
No, I clearly...
Tide Pods are so expensive.
These days.
I usually go with the generic, so I'll just send them my way.
Ever since the tariffs kicked in. Anyway, folks, the final debate in the mayoral race was last night. Early voting starts tomorrow. And we go to Natalie Migliori with her Beat on the Street next, plus the iHeart Radio Music Festival. It is back September 19th and 20th in Las Vegas. 2 big nights, 1 big stage, live performances by Bryan Adams, John Fogerty, Sammy Hagar, Ed Sheeran, Maroon 5, and more. The Capital One presale means that card holders have access to tickets before the general public. That starts at 1 p.m. today. It is only for a limited time, so if you're going to take advantage of that window, you got to get moving. Also, the Capital One Access Pass add-on gets you into an exclusive pre-concert cardholder event with a private performance by LL Cool J on Friday night. You're also going to get a private performance by Jelly Roll on Saturday night. That's hot stuff. So go to iHeartRadio.com/Capital One to get your tickets now before they're gone. General public ticket sales start Friday at 2 p.m. This is not a drill. It's the real thing.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. Troubles on 22 at Jam westbound into Springfield Road because of a crash. Double troubles on 287 northbound into Harder Road, exit 33. There's a crash. Then southbound the off-ramp to Route 46 in Parsippany, partially blocked because of a disabled tractor trailer. 5 to 10 minute delays. GW Bridge upper deck, no waiting on the lower level. Same at the Lincoln Tunnel, 10 to 15 at the Holland. This report's sponsored by Visit Myrtle Beach. There's a reason people call Myrtle Beach the beach, because here you become your best self. You can speed up, slow down, and make waves even on land. You belong at the beach. Start planning at visitmyrtlebeach.com. Our next traffic update is coming up in 15 minutes. Now let's take a look at the WOR Weather Channel forecast.
A lot of gray sky around, but these are not rain-producing clouds. There's actually some clear sky trying to get on through, and it may at times as we head through the day, but really don't see too much in the way of clearing. Maybe a spotty shower or two, thunder shower this afternoon. Nothing to cancel outdoor plans right through this evening. And then overnight, I really think that's the better chance. A little bit more widespread shower action towards sunrise, 63, suburbs a little cooler. Saturday will start off damp with scattered showers tapering off in the early afternoon. Cool day as we get kind of a breeze off the Atlantic, staying in the mid-60s. Sunday, Father's Day, cloudy, mainly dry near 70 degrees. Just going to throw in a passing shower or two. Right now, 69 at WOR. I'm meteorologist Ray Staging. Here's Jacqueline with a check of today's top stories.
Good morning, Ray. Back and forth attacks between Iran and Israel. The latest on detainees that escaped an ICE detention center in Newark, and Harvey Weinstein will be retried after a mistrial. Details coming up on 710 WOR.
It's too bad for Democrats that Trump and Musk are making up. because now they have to go back to defending the worst of the worst criminal illegal aliens and convince us that those riots, flying bricks and burning cars, it's actually Trump's fault. Oh, we got lots to talk about. The Rob Astorino Show is brought to you by Somerset Electric, A.G. Williams Painting Company, and Premier Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning. The Rob Astorino Show, Saturday at 4, here on the Voice of New York, 710 WOR.
Now, it's 710 WOR's Beat on the Street with Natalie Migliori.
Mendte in the morning, Jimmy Failla in for Larry Mendte, and I'm about to toss it to a dear friend of mine. We go back about a day and a half. Natalie Migliori joining us with the Beat on the Street.
There
Hey, girl.
you go.
Getting the band back
Good
together.
morning, Jimmy, my great, great friend. Nice to chat. Well, New York City Democrats will start narrowing down the candidate field for mayor when early voting kicks off tomorrow. So the real question here, is anyone planning on hitting the polls ahead of actual primary day, which is June 24th?
No, I wasn't planning on it. I have to do some more research on that. I know who I'm going to leave off the ranks and who I'm going to kind of have an idea of who I'm going to be on the ranks.
I think that I have to do it tomorrow.
I'm all set, baby. I'm going tomorrow. I'm already set to do it tomorrow. I mean, this is not a rocket science. You have two choices here, vote or don't vote. If you vote, you have the right to make change. If you don't vote, shame on you. Don't complain, and don't complain about the changes.
Amen.
There you have it. Some civically engaged people, right, Jimmy?
Well, I think I do believe you used the plural. It was civically engaged person. there
you go.
Good stuff, though.
Depends. It depends on what you find. Now, the second and final debate was held last night with former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and State Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani, who both poll well, trading barbs. Some people would say you didn't even know the other candidates were there. Cuomo questioning Mamdani's age and experience, while Mamdani needled into the sexual misconduct allegations that chased Cuomo out of office in 2021.
Cuomo was just like annoying me. He's so cocky and I just think he's arrogant and he's not, for whatever the allegations were, he's just not substantiating anything.
Hard for you to forget.
Yeah, big time. Because he has daughters, he should know better.
We're like a monkey in a barrel, right? If you climb out, the one on the bottom wants to bring you down. It's unfortunate. It may or may not have happened. It may have been perceived differently by the other parties, but this is the society we live in. I take it for face value. I'm going to look at him professionally, not personally.
Well, no matter how you look at him, many people I've talked to, and not just this morning, seem to be leaning towards Cuomo for, many different reasons.
I believe he did a great job as governor, putting together a great administration that made great decisions for the state and for downstate, which is New York City. And as soon as we get him in there, the changes can happen.
I liked him as a governor. I had no problems with it besides the personal stuff, but they all seem to have baggage nowadays.
He's cute and, I like the way he represents himself. I like the way he talks. He do things. He gets things done.
I think that he's got an agenda, his own agenda, and I think he's just trying to get back into politics because of what happened when he lost the governorship.
Wait, he said he was cute?
Did he
just say he was cute?
Cute. That's what he says.
Oh, wow.
He is cute.
Wow.
But early voting runs for 10 days ahead of actual primary election, which is Tuesday, June 24th. It's a ranked choice voting system. So New Yorkers will get to rank 5 of the 9 candidates in order of preference. That means your third choice could win. But either way, at the end of it, the Democratic Party will be left with one candidate, and people are hoping for
just somebody that's fair and does the right thing. I think one of the concerns for us is how much rent is and, just making New York more affordable again.
I would like to see a better city. I would like to see it cleaner, safer. All the crime that is being committed. Have you heard of it? It would be nice if we had a safe city, wouldn't it?
I don't know. There's a lot going on. It seems like a lot of anger in the city and a lot of mental health needs to be addressed.
Just looking at what's going on now, I think we need new leadership in the state and city.
There's so much corruption. It's a joke. It's a joke. I can't. It's just too much.
Wow.
Well, Jimmy, I don't know if he's heading to the polls.
He was a maybe. But you did something. You made a breakthrough today, Nat. You found the one woman that's not going to Me Too Andrew Cuomo.
There you go. I found a lot of women over this Democratic cycle that's not going to Me Too him. They seem to be Cuomo-sexual. That was the old phrase.
Well, he's still got that going for him. So if he doesn't get his hands on the mayor's office, he can go back to getting his hands on the staffers. Nat,
there you go.
We'll always have this. It was amazing.
A moment in time.
The great Natalie Vacca. She'll be back Monday morning at 8:50, as will Larry. I will not. But one person survived the horrific Air India crash. We're going to talk with ABC World News aviation analyst John Nance. He's coming up after the 9 o'clock news.
This is where New York is heard.
I take the Long Island Railroad home. I listen to WOR, and it makes me forget everything I saw at Penn Station.
Always the voice of New York. 710 WOR.
An iHeart radio station.
It's 71 degrees at 9 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Jacqueline Carl. Back and forth attacks between Iran and Israel. Israeli officials say Iran overnight launched around 100 attack drones. This after the Israeli attacks targeting Iranian nuclear and ballistic missile facilities. ABC News foreign correspondent Marcus Moore is in Tel Aviv.
Israel calling the strikes preemptive, claiming Iran has enough enriched uranium to produce up to 15 nuclear bombs within just days.
We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program.
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu saying these strikes are only the beginning.
And reports now say 4 detainees are missing from a controversial ICE detention center in Newark after a riot in which detainees took control over parts of the facility.
NJ.com reporting as many as 50 ICE detainees inside Delaney Hall staged a revolt Thursday night and pushed down a wall of their dorm. Others reportedly made ropes out of bed sheets to get out from the 3rd floor. At least 4 detainees are unaccounted for. A manhunt was launched to try and find them. The report says detainees were angry about the timeliness and quality of their food. Mayor Ras Baraka, who was arrested at Delaney Hall last month, says problems at the site stem from lack of oversight. Andrew Whitman, WOR News.
And the Manhattan District Attorney says Harvey Weinstein will be retried after a mistrial was declared on one of 3 charges of sexual assault.
With the mistrial leaving one charge against the former Hollywood producer unresolved, DA Alan Bragg says he'll try him for a 3rd time.
After the judge declared the jury could not reach a verdict on rape in the 3rd degree, we immediately informed the court that we are ready to go forward to trial again on that charge.
In a partial verdict, the jury found Weinstein guilty of sexual assault against one woman and not guilty of another charge. Weinstein was convicted in 2020, but that verdict was later thrown out. Larry Kofsky, WOR News.
It's 71 degrees at 9:02.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. We have a breakdown on the LIE on Long Island westbound into exit 56, Route 111. We've got a disabled vehicle and a flipped over vehicle on Sunrise Highway. It's eastbound into Railroad Avenue, exit 60. Jericho Turnpike eastbound into Herrick's Road. There's a crash. Now the GW Bridge, some earlier delays have eased out. Same with the Lincoln Tunnel. Holland Tunnel still about a 10 to 15 minute delay, both approaches. This report is sponsored by the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety. Crashes happen when drivers pass too close. New Jersey law says give 4 feet to walkers and bikers or slow to 25. A little caution saves lives. Our next traffic update is in 15 minutes on 710 WOR.
Capital One cardholders can score their iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets right now before anyone else. Tickets are only available while pre-sale tickets last or until today, June 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And that's not all. Add a Capital One access pass to your pre-sale purchase to attend an exclusive pre-concert event with a private performance from LL Cool J on Friday or Jelly Roll on Saturday. Only available during the cardholder pre-sale.
Pre-sale tickets are limited and will go fast. So visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One to buy now.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, streaming live only on Hulu.
I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic with the WOR forecast from the Weather Channel. Not going to be too aggressive with any rain chances today. If you see a shower, you blink, you're probably going to miss it. So do you really see it? Maybe even a thunder shower this afternoon. Small chance of rain, most of us dry. Clouds with maybe some sun, 78. A few showers, thunder showers tonight. Best chance as we head toward the overnight and sunrise tomorrow morning. 63 city, suburbs cooler. Showers into early afternoon tomorrow. Temperatures are only going to hold in the mid-60s and a chance of a shower on Father's Day. Otherwise cloudy and dry, near 70. Currently 69 at WOR.
In sports, the Mets win again and sweep the Nationals 4-3 at Citi Field Thursday. Mets at a 45-24 have the best record in baseball. They've won 6 straight and 15 of their last 18 games. Mets open a set with the Rays tonight in Flushing, Queens. The Yanks win despite some rain in Kansas City 1-0 and sweep the series from the Royals. Yanks visit Fenway Park and the Red Sox tonight. It's 9:05. Next news at 9:30. Breaking news at once. I'm Jacqueline Carl on 710 WOR.
Now, more Mendte in the morning.
710 WOR.
Guest hosting today, here's Jimmy Failla.
Good morning, New York City. It is Mendte in the morning on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. Larry, of course, off today. So they sent in the best of the absolute best, Natalie Vacca, to book a guest host. And this is all she came up with. I am Jimmy Failla.
Jimmy.
Stop it. I'm beating myself up a little
Don't.
bit. Newest member of the WOR lineup. You can hear my show weeknights from 9 p.m. to midnight. You can also watch me on Fox News every Saturday night. I host a show called Fox News Saturday Night with Jimmy Failla. But enough of the sandwich board. Let's get into the big three. Here we go. So Israel launching an strike on Iran, taking out top Iranian nuclear leaders and scientists. President Trump truth socialing about it earlier, saying he gave Iran 60 days to make a deal. This was day 61. He says they should consider today a second chance or the attacks are going to intensify. This is obviously very heavy stuff. I don't doubt that if you're in the tri-state area, there will be protests on either side of this issue. So to my former New York City cab drivers out there, you might want to give 6th Avenue the day off. Second story in the big three was the mayoral debate last night. If you missed it, I believe they're showing the replay on Bravo. And then Andy Cohen will be hosting a reunion when that's over, because it really got ugly. It was, of course, Mondani and Cuomo going back and forth. A lot of personal attacks. It wasn't so much what will you do to the city. It was more what did you do to your staffers, is I think the route Mondani took this conversation. And the third story in the big three, which I think a lot of people in my house would argue is number one, is the Yankees are going up to Boston to beat up the Red Sox this weekend.
Yeah.
And you gotta love that. I grew up in a big Yankee house. You know, when you have that Arrested Development where men can only communicate with the other men in their lives through sports.
Through sports, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So if I was
not, they're just staring at each other.
If I was mad at my dad, it was like, Yankees suck. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the first time I kissed a girl, I came home, I was like, the Yankees rule. That was 3 days ago. I believe it was Tuesday. But of course, the other story making a lot of headlines right now outside of the political news was a tragedy, a horrific Air India crash. The video is all over the internet. It shows a Boeing 787 Dreamliner plummet just seconds after takeoff. There is good news out of the crash. One man seated in 11A did survive. I have no idea how it happened, but if any man can make sense of it all, it is ABC's World News aviation analyst and author, John Nance, is on the line. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Jimmy. How you doing?
The most telling thing about the world we now live in is if you've seen the video of this miraculous survival tale. The photo of the guy walking away from the crash, he's looking at his phone. He has his phone, and it's like we're so calibrated to do that, but I'm also just so overwhelmed because I can't imagine how he must feel in this moment. But this is obviously a horrible tragedy. Let's start there. Do we have any insight into what caused this?
A little, only a little, and not enough. But we will get that with the readout of the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder. What we know is the airplane had plenty of thrust to take off. As soon as he got into the air, however, something happened to both engines simultaneously, which is very, very unlikely in any operation with a twin-engine airplane. They did not have sufficient thrust to be able to maintain airspeed, and they slowly drifted down until they hit the building. The indications of this are that not only did the engines fail, whether they actually stopped or not, they weren't producing power, but the crew didn't even have time to raise landing gear, and that's a very telltale element. So what we don't know is what the impetus of that was. It could be anything from hitting birds, which we don't think are indicated. We haven't heard much about that, or about the presence of birds on the airport, all the way to something very dark, like somebody turning off the engines in the cockpit, which I'm not assuming is the case, but these airplanes are built to never have something happen simultaneously to both engines. And so when something like this does occur, there's just not a whole lot of explanation that is readily, it's easy to come by. It's something that's almost completely unprecedented, and certainly with respect to the 787, it's completely unprecedented.
Wow, that's crazy. We're talking to John Nance, ABC World News aviation analyst and author. One thing I did read earlier is some of the photos from the crash site say the tail section of the plane appeared to be intact, and that would be where the black box is stored. So does that make it any easier for them to retrieve the black box as comparative to other situations?
Oh, immensely easier. I mean, when the tail section and the racks in which those two devices are stacked, when you can just walk up and pull those out, that's 100,000 times better than having to sift through a smoking hole somewhere, which we've had to do many times.
Sheesh, that's heavy. Does anyone hazard a guess as to how this gentleman in seat 11A did survive?
I bridle at the use of the word miracle most of the time in aviation disasters, but this is one I would endorse. When you are dissipating 150 to 160 miles an hour in less than 150 feet, you've got basically metal flying everywhere. And how anybody could get out of that maelstrom of flying knives, if you will, is literally miraculous. But somehow it all worked for him. And the door was just cracked open enough there at 11A, which is one of the emergency exit rows. He was able to squeeze out and not fall, very far. He was actually on a surface. All of those things could have been different in a microsecond, just with a tiny little bit of pressure in one direction or another during the dissipation of the speed. But I can't tell you. I know we're going to have a lot of people saying, "Okay, I want seat 11A from now on." Yeah. This is completely random. It could have been at the back of the airplane. It could have been at the front of the airplane.
Fair.
I have a quick question. I saw a video, and I cannot believe everything you see on social media, but there are so many videos coming out, and right before the plane, had this incident, there were people on the plane saying that there was no power to their, to the televisions, that the air conditioning was off. Have you heard about that?
No, but it doesn't surprise me. We have only one eyewitness who survived, and listening very carefully to anything he's reported to have said. The fact is, if you lose both engines, they both go so far down in terms of their rotation that they're not producing electrical power anymore. You've got backup systems, but they're not going to click in necessarily for the cabin, so you might not have operating televisions in front of the seats. But this also may be an overstatement because, again, we have only one witness, only one person who was aboard.
Wow. The other thing I would ask, we're talking to John Nance, ABC World News aviation analyst and author, is, Boeing's been under a lot of scrutiny lately. Obviously, this isn't going to help that situation. Have they reacted?
Yeah, they've done all the right things. I mean, they got their own version of a go team that joins. In this case, of course, it's not in the U.S., so the NTSB, National Transportation Safety Board, has to be invited in, which I think they already have been. Mm-hmm. Boeing will be an inevitable party to that because they are the manufacturer of the airplane. The tendency is always, for those of us in the media, to say, okay, this dot is connected to that dot. Mm-hmm. As far as anything detrimental to Boeing, we'll have to wait and see. If there's anything indicated when they get into the so-called black boxes, which are actually international orange, the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder, if there's something that looks like it might be a generic probability or possibility in the future for a repeat, this will be addressed immediately, and of course it could be very worrisome. There are 1,000 of these airplanes, or a little more than 1,000 flying out there. They've got a superlative, almost perfect record, and their dispatch reliability is very, very high. So I'm not anticipating any problem with the Dreamliner as such, but if that did happen, that would be a major blow to Boeing.
Wow, very heavy stuff. John Nance, we appreciate a few minutes this morning. Great stuff as always.
You bet.
Thank you, sir. Great, John Nance, ABC World News aviation analyst and author. One more thing to throw at you. The largest tagged male shark has been tracked off the North Carolina coast. But is it coming our way? That's what we want to find out. Don't ask me. I'm a cab driver. I know loan sharks. I don't actually know like regular sharks. But we're going to talk with a shark expert, Dr. Harley Newton, joining us when we come back.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. Crash on Route 80. It's eastbound into exit 30, Howard Boulevard in Roxbury Township. 2 left lanes are blocked. And of course, Route 80, both directions into exit 34. The roadway is reduced to 2 lanes, and that's for those sinkhole repairs. GW Bridge, some earlier delays have eased out. You're fine at the Lincoln Tunnel. Holland Tunnel inbound, still about a 10 to 15 minute delay from both approaches. Saginaw Coast Parkway, northbound at Pine Air Drive in Bayshore, right lane blocked due to an unauthorized vehicle on the roadway. And Sunrise Highway eastbound into Railroad Avenue, exit 60. There's an overturned vehicle. Our next traffic update in 15 minutes on 710 WOR. Now let's take a look at the WOR Weather Channel forecast.
A lot of gray sky around, but not a bunch of rain today. A passing shower this morning, maybe a hit or miss storm this afternoon. 78 should do it. Tonight, a threat for showers and maybe a thunderstorm, especially after midnight. Other than that, cloudy, 63. Suburbs, you'll be a little bit cooler. Saturday, a few showers into early afternoon. They'll be scattered around, then cloudy. Temperatures are going to stay cool with a northeast breeze, staying in the mid-60s. Sunday, Father's Day, cloudy, near 70. Right now, 71 at WOR. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic. Here's Jacqueline with a check of today's top stories.
Good morning, Ray. There have been back and forth attacks between Israel and Iran. The top 2 Democrats running for New York City mayor traded punches at the latest debate, and former New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez is scheduled to report to prison soon. Details coming up on 710 WOR.
Mark Simone. There's a bunch of polls coming out. Most of them are junk polls, but there's one poll that just came out, and it shows Mondami in the lead now. This has caused panic in Cuomo world.
The Mark Simone Show, weekdays 10 till noon on WOR.
We are the voice of New York.
This is Mendte in the morning.
710 WOR.
In for Larry, here's Jimmy Failla.
Jimmy Failla sitting in for Larry Mendte on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. Getting a lot of talkbacks out there. We're going to get to more of them shortly. If you haven't weighed in, taken a shot at your Mendte in the morning t-shirt, go to the iHeartRadio app, leave us a talkback, and we will get to it shortly, because joining us now, this is a big deal. This next guest is, of course, an OSEARCH chief veterinarian and senior veterinary scientist, which sounds pretty straightforward, but I actually think she's kind of nuts. Dr. Harley Newton is on the line. Hello, doctor.
Hi, good morning.
So I'm very fascinated by your work, but I have to know, as a kid who grew up watching Jaws, what motivated you or drove you to go out and get into the business of tagging sharks? This blows my mind.
You know, even when I started my veterinary career, I didn't think this would be an option because there's just so few opportunities, and I just found a way. I was interested in exotics in veterinary school and interested in aquatic animals, and I just took every opportunity offered, and here I am.
Wow, really cool stuff. So to get the audience up to speed, it's the biggest great white shark that's ever been recorded in the Atlantic. They do believe, according to these reports, that it could be headed north towards our area. But you yourself tagged this shark, correct?
I did, and I do want to clarify, he is the largest male white shark that OSEARCH has ever tagged.
Okay.
Definitely not the largest white shark ever recorded in the Northwest Atlantic. These guys get big, and he was about 14 feet, so nothing to sniff at, but
Oh, my gosh.
definitely not the biggest.
Okay. Well,
No, not
so
the
it's only a
biggest.
14-foot
Okay.
shark, honey. Everybody back in
Thank
the
you.
water. Only a
Oh, boy.
14-footer. No, this blows me away. And in the process of OSEARCH and yourself tagging a shark like this, I assume you're able to deduce what is on this guy's agenda. When they say they're tracking him and he's heading north, what does that mean to us in plain English?
Sure. So white sharks are migratory. They spend their summer and fall up north, typically in Cape Cod or Atlantic Canada, and then they spend their summer down south, anywhere from the Carolinas down around Florida and into the Gulf. But this is the time of year that they're on the move, so they're actually migrating now. And very often, when we watch our animals on our global shark tracker, they spend some time off of Cape Hatteras. And typically right inside the Gulf Stream. We think that's because there's a lot of food there, and they're about to travel more than 1,000 miles. So we think what's on his agenda is he's going to be moving north and very likely moving through the waters of New York.
Oh, wow. Would you look at that? New York's lovely this time of year. Well, thanks for that. We're talking to the great Dr. Harley Newton. Now, I did see here that you have a particular interest in stress physiology in sharks and what conditions induce higher stress levels. That's what I wanted to ask you. Is there something that this shark might be experiencing him that made him want to come here, or you're saying this is just regular seasonal migration?
This is regular seasonal migration. This is what he should do. And, the interesting thing about that is these sharks seem to choose a primary place to spend their summers. They either go to Cape Cod or they go to Atlantic Canada. And this will be the first year we'll be able to kind of follow him and see which one he chooses. So for me, that's the primary point of interest.
Makes sense.
The stress physiology work, it largely just has to do with how these animals handle fisheries capture, and that really comes back to policy. There's a lot of policies that involve catch and release of sharks, and some species handle it really, really well, and other ones really don't. So we're just trying to get to the bottom of which animals can handle fisheries capture and which ones can't.
Well, he's swimming his way to a changing world in New York, because the adults are scared of sharks, but the kids actually like them because of that Baby Shark doot 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 song.
Oh.
So you're going to see the adults are running out of the water. The kids are running in. It's going to be a whole spectacle. I thank you so much for taking a few minutes to make sense of this for us, because it is far beyond my pay grade. And I just find you and your line of work so fascinating.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
The great Dr. Harley Newton. There she goes. Really great stuff. But yeah, if he's swimming up here, to New York City, New York waters, he might make a U-turn and go back. He doesn't really want to swim with a hubcap off the coast of Coney Island, some floating teamster who did somebody dirty. Send us your callbacks on the iHeartRadio app. We've got a couple more that I want to play. This one sounds like he's mad at the Democrats. Uh-oh, here we go. About to get partisan again.
Morning, Jimmy. Hey, the last 2 years of Biden, as he was wiping out on stage and mumbling, bumbling, and fumbling, shaking hands with the air and all his antics, and the Democratic supporters either said nothing or actually talked about how sharp he was. And now they want to come out and question the current president's mental acuity. I mean, these people want to be taken seriously? It's how ridiculous.
He is, of course, referring to recent attacks on the Democratic side of the aisle. I even think Newsom tried playing one of these. Trump's the oldest president ever. We need to do something. But nobody wants advice on cognitive assessments from the Democratic Party. I believe there are more people listening who'd be willing to take dating advice from O.J. Simpson than cognitive assessments from the Democrats after the 4 years of Biden shaking hands with invisible people. They used to yell at me. Like, I'd get into these debates, in comedy green rooms and sometimes on TV, and they're, Biden's fine. This is a Republican right-wing conspiracy. I'm like, dude, Joe Biden is the only president in history who made the sign language interpreter shrug. I mean, really think about that. At the State of the Union, I saw the sign language interpreter literally pick up her phone and start Googling because she's like, that's not a word. We had a president you couldn't play Scrabble with. You know who I would play Scrabble with? Jacqueline Carl, who joins us now with the news.
Thank you. Good morning. The Israeli military is claiming that Iran's nuclear program is reaching the point of no return. Israel on Thursday launched what it called a preemptive strike against military and nuclear sites in Iran. The Israeli army says it had accumulated evidence about Iran's efforts to produce enough enriched uranium to obtain a nuclear weapon. Meanwhile, the NYPD is tracking the situation in the Middle East and increasing security locally.
As a precaution, the NYPD stepping up security at Jewish, Israeli, and other sites throughout the city after Israel's military strike against Iran. In a statement, the NYPD says they're coordinating with federal partners and will continue to track the situation in the Middle East for any potential impact to the city. New York City Mayor Eric Adams and NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch already will be holding a security briefing this afternoon ahead of anticipated weekend No King's Day protests, and now the security concerns stemming from the Middle East. Jennifer Bolsoni, WOR News.
So this parking garage is testing out a security robot. So according to WTOP, the Montgomery County, Maryland Department of Transportation says they're giving a test run to this 5'4", 420-pound security robot in a Silver Spring parking garage that they say reminds people of an air freshener or droids from Star Wars. Reportedly, this robot has the ability to detect people, read license plates, make broadcast announcements, and run thermal scans. The future, that's the sci-fi future, is with us. I thought he was going to protect people going to their cars, but I guess got other other ideas for this guy. What do you think about that?
Well, they're making him too real. I mean, we're basically like a month away from the robots just hitting on chicks.
Too real?
Yeah.
5'4" and 400 something pounds?
Well, that part.
This one looks like, a droid from Star Wars, but a lot of them are, they've got eyes that they've just made, I think in Japan or China, where they can see with 86% accuracy, like a human eye. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, but we're 3 pages into every screenplay we've ever watched where these things kill us at the
You're
end.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Yeah, I know. I like it. Let's go to Wall Street at the opening bell. All right, so the Dow opened down 515 points. The S&P is down 64 points, and the Nasdaq opened down 294 points. That's it, folks.
There it is. Another stellar effort by the great Jacqueline Carl. I mean, just a perfect game at this point. No one's even talking anywhere in the dugout between innings. Just throwing a perfecto. Folks, don't go anywhere. Our WOR Movie Minute host, Joe Newmeyer, is going to give us thoughts on How to Train Your Dragon. Hot damn, when we get back.
From the Odoo.com Traffic Center, Odoo.com, the only business software you will need.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. Flipped over vehicle on Sunrise Highway. It's eastbound into Railroad Avenue, exit 60 and Jericho Turnpike. In Garden City Park, there's a crash eastbound into Herrick's Road. Earlier delays at the GW Bridge inbound of east outbound on the lower deck. There's construction blocking the right lane. Lincoln and Holland, you're fine. This report's sponsored by WhatsApp. On WhatsApp, your personal messages stay private, so things like those selfies from last weekend's party stay between you and your bestie, because on WhatsApp, your personal messages are yours. No one else can see or hear them, not even them. WhatsApp, message privately with everyone. Our next traffic update is in 15 minutes on 710 WOR. Now let's take a look at the WOR Weather Channel forecast.
Running clouds in here this morning. So far, radar stayed pretty cleaned up, and I think for the most part for today, we'll see it stay fairly dry. We do have a mention of a shower, maybe a thunder shower, but really not much. I think if you talk to 10 people, maybe 1 or 2 say, hey, I got a raindrop or 2. 78 today's high. Tonight, a better chance of some rain later, a few showers coming in, maybe a thunder shower. That's probably after 2 a.m. and toward morning. And then on Saturday, some scattered showers until about midday, early afternoon. Then a cool day tomorrow. Clouds in mid-60s. The temperatures basically hold steady all day. Only a little bit better Sunday, but just a small chance of a shower. For Father's Day, will go mainly cloudy. A passing shower or 2, high 70. Right now, 69 at WOR. I'm meteorologist Ray Staging.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton.
To allow yourself to be defined by an identity that you didn't choose is actually, to me, the antithesis of what the United States should represent.
If men and women have to be treated in a way that is equal in the law, but the law can't actually determine who a man and a woman is, how can that law be enforced?
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, the voices you need for times like this. Weekdays at noon on 710 WOR. Now, back to Mendte in the morning on 710 WOR. Guest hosting today, here's Jimmy Failla.
Jimmy Failla in for Larry Mendte. Natalie's still sitting next to me, though, opening up a Best Buy, apparently, based on the amount of devices she has in front of her. I believe Mark Simone walked by and counted 7 screens.
I have a lot of screens.
Phone screens.
There's a lot of things going on here.
Well, it is an honor to be broadcasting here today from the Houston Space Center alongside Natalie. Joining us now, a man who knows about all of that and so much more, WOR's Movie Minute host, Joe Newmeyer in the house. The crowd goes wild. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Jimmy. Great to speak with you. Boy, you're here for a good Friday. We got 2 really good movies to talk about this weekend. You ready to jump in?
Let's go. I love
Let's
this.
go. Love this. The first one, I am totally surprised to be saying this, but it is a 5-star movie. It's How to Train Your Dragon, which is a remake of a 2010 animated film. It's from a bunch of kids' books. But this is a movie for everyone, not just for kids. It's not aimed low. I was totally knocked out by it. It looks great for one thing, but it's got a really great story. I'm just going to summarize it really quickly. You know, it takes place in the Viking era, and there's an island where these Vikings have been fighting dragons for a long time. And there's the son of the Viking chief befriends a wounded dragon and realizes that they are not horrible creatures, that they're actually really nice. You could kind of get along with them. And so it's a kind of a basic story, right? It's like the Black Stallion Stallion or, whatever, St. George and the Dragon. It's a classic story.
Yep.
But really what happens here is like the film just transcends all the things that you think it could be, all of these live action remakes that Disney has done over the last however many years. Everything from Beauty and the Beast to Aladdin to, The Jungle Book and The Lion King. All of that, none of that stuff works, and some of them are like bad drug trips, like Dumbo, the Tim Burton Dumbo, like still haunts me. So there's a lot of them that are really bad. This one, though, it is not that. It is a really terrific film. It's obviously, it's a kids movie, but it doesn't aim low. It reminds me a little of like there was a remake of Pete's Dragon a couple of years ago that this reminds me of, which I thought was a great film, and or even like Where the Wild Things Are, or even, as I said, The Black Stallion, which is a classic. So 5 stars. Bring everyone. How to Train Your Dragon. Honestly, it's a great time for everyone in the family. It's a terrific film.
And to be clear, just so everybody's listening who might not be familiar with your work, I know this audience is, but you watch these films sober.
That's right. I do. I did not see How to Train Your Dragon under any special circumstances. Right. Nothing. No bourbon was imbibed before How to Train Your Dragon.
All right. Well,
but that's right. Yeah. So 5 stars. Now there's another film, a smaller film, but I also want to give it a shout out this week as well. It's called The Life of Chuck, which is also, it sounds kind of a goofy title, but it's based on a Stephen King short story. So right there, you know that it's got a good pedigree. And I can't give too much away about it, but I'll talk about it a little bit. It's kind of a twisty kind of a thing that's told in reverse. It has like 3 chapters, and the 3rd chapter comes first, and then chapter 2, chapter 1, and without giving too much away, there's it starts with sort of this futuristic, or this kind of what seems like an end times kind of moment, and it goes back in time a little bit to look at this character named Chuck, who's played by Tom Hiddleston, and it's an adaptation of a Stephen King film that reminded me a lot of The Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
It reminded me a lot of The Green Mile, or even Stand By Me. So it's got a slight supernatural element to it, but it's one of the sort of the more grounded or maybe sentimental, if you want to call it, Stephen King adaptation. So that 4 stars for that. That's also a really good film, but totally different and also not really for kids. So for adults, that's that one, but you got to go into it with an open mind and be prepared. How to Train Your Dragon, just go and get the popcorn and sit down, because it's a great movie.
It's a good way to pitch a movie. It's a bad way to pitch a blind date. You got to go into it with an open mind and be prepared.
That's right.
What are you getting me into over here, Joe Newmeyer? Oh my goodness gracious! Well,
right.
As a guy who is a great movie critic and a horrible blind date setter-upper, I kid. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is turning 40 years old this summer. And I consider that the closest thing to a perfect film that there is in my youth. I loved Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I recently interviewed Mark Holton, who played Francis Buxton, the bike thief. And they're having a big reunion over the weekend. E.G. Daly's going to be there. I guess it's out in Glendale, California. It's a great time to be in California. If you don't have an iPad to watch it on, you can loot it. But were you a fan of Pee-wee?
I absolutely was. And in fact, I actually had the honor of doing a little half-hour to 45-minute career conversation with Paul Rubens a couple of years ago for that 3rd Pee-wee movie that he did. It was called Pee-wee's Big Holiday. That was on Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a fun conversation. He was a gentleman and really funny. The movie itself, I totally agree. I mean, a couple of minutes ago, I ragged on Tim Burton's Dumbo, but Tim Burton directed Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and was there ever a better marriage between a filmmaker and a performer than those two? I think that the movie is inventive and funny and wacky, and also. Shout out to the 1980s. Everybody thinks of it as sort of this big decade of, it did a lot of great things like Ghostbusters and E.T. and Indiana Jones and Top Gun, but it also did lots of weird stuff, and that's one of them is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. But weird in the unusual way. I love it too. Hilarious. And you can always quote it, right?
Yeah.
I say we let him go.
No, right? That whole thing.
That's good.
Well, can I tell you my favorite movie discussing Pee-wee's Big Adventure is a great story. Geraldo Rivera, who worked with me over at Fox, I was referencing the movie Pee-wee's Big Adventure one day. And the question was, if you could have any prop from any movie, what would you like? And someone said, I'd like the bike from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. At which point I joked and said, you're out of luck because it's in the basement of the Alamo. Geraldo jumps in and goes, the Alamo in San Antonio? And I go, Geraldo, how many Alamos do you know? Like, when someone yells, remember the Alamo, you never follow up with which one? You know?
Right, exactly. Which one? Yeah.
Remember the Alamo. Madame Ruby is the one who sent them there. She was the dead-end psychic that sent Pee-wee. She read his palm and sent him to the fake basement in the Alamo. Unbelievable.
That's right. So is that's the prop that you would get? See, for me, I would, or a vehicle, I would get the Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit.
Ooh.
That would be the one and a couple of years ago, I think the one from the sequel, not quite as good, was for sale. I think somebody was selling it. And if I had the money, of course, I would have gotten that. But it's that Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit from 1977. Came out the same day as Star Wars, by the way. And for me, I'd rather watch Smokey and the Bandit right now than Star Wars.
Because
wait, those movies came out the same day?
Yep.
That's crazy.
77.
That is crazy.
What a time to be alive. But Smokey and the Bandit eventually stopped going. They're on Star Wars. They're not even like pretending that it's not. At this point, it's like Star Wars Episode 10. F you, pay me.
Would you have been,
that's the title?
Would you have been a Star Wars or a Smokey guy? Which one would you have gone to see that night?
At that age, I actually probably would have went to Star Wars, but I loved Burt Reynolds. Yeah. I mean, but Smokey and the Bandit's
I was
epic.
10 when it came out. You had to not. There's no way you could not see Star Wars. But you're right. You know how they talk about the internet's going to keep on going on no matter if the world dies out or not. Same thing with the Star Wars movies. It'll be just darkness, but somehow a new Star Wars movie or TV show will come out. Totally agree.
Amen. Listen, these were not the droids we were looking for, but this was the movie critique we were looking for. Joe Newmeyer, just take a bow. This was epic stuff.
Thanks, Jimmy. Great talking to you.
You too, my man. Have a great weekend. The great Joe Newmeyer. I mean, just all around fantastic stuff. But when we come back, I will have my final thoughts, a recap of today's show, and we'll wrap it up the way only I can. But first, the iHeart Radio Music Festival. It is back September 19th and 20th in Las Vegas. It is 2 big nights on one big stage. You get live performances by Bryan Adams, John Fogerty, Sammy Hagar, Ed Sheeran, Maroon 5, and more. Hot damn. The Capital One presale. It means that cardholders have access to tickets before the general public, and that starts at 1 p.m. today. It is only for a limited time. So if you have the Capital One Access Pass, the add-on will get you into an exclusive pre-concert cardholder event with a private performance by LL Cool J on Friday night and Jelly Roll on Saturday night. So you got to go to the iHeartRadio.com/Capital One. Get your tickets now before they're gone. General public ticket sales start Friday at 2 p.m. Get moving and don't go anywhere, because when we come back, Jimmy wraps it up. Here we go.
I'm Janelle Crispin with your WOR traffic. Looks like rush hour delays have eased out at the Hudson River crossings. Now we have construction inbound on the upper deck. Right lane is blocked, and also construction on the Henry Hudson ramp blocking the right lane. Outbound on the lower deck, there's construction blocking the right lane. No problems at the Lincoln and Holland tunnels, and a crash on the Garden State Parkway northbound to exit 127. This report is sponsored by NYC Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists. Slow your turns to less than 5 miles per hour. A message from Adonis Rodriguez, Commissioner of the New York City Department of Transportation. Our next traffic update is in 15 minutes on 710 WOR. Now let's take a look at the WOR Weather Channel forecast.
A lot of gray sky around, but these are not rain-producing clouds. There's actually some clear sky trying to get on through, and it may at times as we head through the day, but really don't see too much in the way of clearing. Maybe a spotty shower or two, thunder shower this afternoon. Nothing to cancel outdoor plans right through this evening. And then overnight, I really think that's the better chance. A little bit more widespread shower action towards sunrise, 63, suburbs a little cooler. Saturday will start off damp with scattered showers tapering off in the early afternoon. Cool day as we get kind of a breeze off the Atlantic, staying in the mid-60s. Sunday, Father's Day, cloudy, mainly dry near 70 degrees. Just going to throw in a passing shower or two. Right now, 69 at WOR. I'm meteorologist Ray Staging. Here's Jacqueline with a check of today's top stories.
Good morning, Ray. Back and forth attacks between Iran and Israel. The latest on detainees that escaped an ICE detention center in Newark, and Harvey Weinstein will be retried after a mistrial. Details coming up on 710 WOR.
Jesse Kelly.
Why haven't libertarians come out of the woodwork at all? Now would be a prime time to insert its party into the mix, don't you think? And would that be a bad thing for conservatives?
Jesse Kelly, weeknights at 6 on 710 WOR. Now with some final thoughts as he sits in for Larry today, here's Jimmy Failla.
We are in the bottom of the ninth here on Mendte in the Morning. It is Failla in the Morning, and I enjoyed it so much, I am here to announce to the tri-state area that tonight at 9 p.m., Failla in the Evening is going live and local. We are ditching my national talk show format. You guys have me all to yourself. I'm like a rental party clown.
And you're going to take phone calls.
Yes, live, and we're taking phone calls all the way through. Like, only your phone calls. We're boxing out the other stations. This is a New York specific thing. I'm basically like, you guys got a party bus and hired a radio stripper. And you're going to be driving around the tri-state area doing whatever it is you do in the back of that bus. Just bring a little greenery for the scenery. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to get out there and shake it and work the pole, I just want to make sure I am adequately compensated as Failla in the morning makes the transition to Failla in the evening. It's 9 p.m. to midnight. You guys better be there. I need the ratings.
Yeah.
It's not like I can go back to cab driving with the driving record that I have. Like, that ship sailed.
Right. And I know this morning you're probably a little more reserved than you normally are. And, right. Yeah,
Just a little more organized.
You were doing
We had fun.
Mendte in the morning show. But tonight, that's different.
Right? You know it as Mendte in the morning. I know it as Natalie on Adderall. Right. But it's a totally different, it's very targeted. It's very organized. I loved it. And I am happy to announce that when I go off the air, Mr. New York, Mark Simone, has still agreed to come up and do his show, despite rumors that he might take the day off to stage an intervention for Natalie and the 77 screens she brings into the studio every day. Were you Amish in another life and you just broke free? You have that much technology that I'm concerned, is all I will say. But Mark Simone's going to welcome political strategist Ed Rollins and Fox business analyst Charlie Gasparino. His office is right down the hall from mine. I bet you didn't know that, Natalie.
I did not.
But now, courtesy of my man Crash, a recap of today's show. Let's go with WOR Newsmax host. See that we did? We cross-pollinated. Newsmax guy, Fox guy got together. Rob Astorino, my main man, he thinks Andrew Cuomo, the guy we see, is the same we have seen him for all along, meaning there's been no rebirth. This is not Cuomo 2.0. That's what I'm saying. It's not an iPhone. You get one model. Here it is.
He has never done anything other than be the peacock, right? His dad was governor when he was growing up, so he's walking around the executive mansion. He's, telling everybody, you know who I am, you know who I am. He's always been driven around by cops, always lived in public housing on our dime. So he doesn't know what else to do. And he's like a scorpion. He is not happy unless he's stinging somebody, and this is his life.
Well, now to be clear, I'm not a Cuomo fan, but I too have been driven around by cops quite a bit in my youth.
For different reasons, though.
I do believe Cuomo was in the front, though, probably riding shotgun, whereas I had a different perch. I kid. Here is a second one. I believe this might be me having a breakdown about this Japanese walking trend. Take it away. There's a Japanese walking trend, and it may be better than 10,000 steps a day, and you only need 30 minutes to do it. So this is what everyone is kidding themselves into thinking will work now.
Right.
Guys, listen. Eat a little bit better, stay active, okay? And you've got a fighting chance in life. But every one of these dumb fads are designed to get you interested in working out again. That's true.
And you are not interested in working out again.
No, I'll get it in. I mean, the problem with working out in New York, for real, is you can't tell who's going for a jog and who's just getting chased.
Yeah.
We need to clean this city up a little bit. It's hard to tell these days, but the truth is, you could always eat a little bit better. But I'm not out there pushing dramatic weight loss because I've met a lot of people that have lost so much weight, they lose the character in their face. They almost become this other thing. So that's my excuse. That's what I'm going with. I don't want to lose so much.
You stay real.
Thank you. I mean, it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
And happy Father's Day to you.
Amen. And thank you for ascertaining that I am, in fact, the father. I know a lot of people are touch and go based on the way I dress. They're like, no, this guy probably didn't impregnate a woman in those rhinestones. He's probably not the dad. But I am, in fact, the dad. But as promised, we have our talk back of the morning and the winner of the Mendte in the Morning t-shirt. Here we go.
Jimmy Failla, I am very, very upset with you, and it's your fault. You made me laugh so hard that I ended up peeing my pants in the car. This never would have happened with Larry, So I'm demanding compensation. So you can either send me your gynecological records or send me a Mendte in the Morning t-shirt.
Well, in lieu of compensation, I'm sending you the Dunkin' Donuts cup that we used when we were cab drivers. There's your restroom. Stay tuned for the 10 o'clock news.
We hear you, New York, loud and clear.
Whenever I feel like I'm the only one in New York who feels the way I do, I listen to WOR and I go, oh, thank God.
Always the voice of New York. 710 WOR.
An iHeart radio station.